The conference room smelled like fear and cheap coffee. I sat there watching Jennifer from HR shuffle papers she'd probably printed 5 minutes ago, her hands trembling just enough to make the pages whisper against each other. Across from me, my manager Tom couldn't meet my eyes. He kept adjusting his tie like it was choking him. "We want you to know this isn't about performance," Jennifer said, her voice doing that thing where people try to sound compassionate but just sound tired. "The entire systems integration department is being restructured." I nodded, said nothing. Tom finally looked up. "You've been a solid contributor for 8 years, David. This is purely a business decision." Business decision. Like that made it hurt less. Like those 2 words were supposed to be a parachute when they just pushed me out of the plane. "We're offering a comprehensive severance package," Jennifer continued, sliding a folder across the table. 12 months of salary plus accumulated vacation time and extended health benefits. I opened the folder, read the number at the bottom of the severance agreement, $200,000. My face didn't change. I'd learned a long time ago that the less you react, the more people underestimate you. Let them think you're too stupid to understand, too weak to fight back, too shocked to calculate. "That's very generous," I said quietly. Jennifer's shoulders relaxed. Tom exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for an hour. "We'll need you to sign today," she said. "HR will process everything by Friday." "Of course." I picked up the pen she'd placed next to the folder. "Do you need anything else from me?" "Just your badge and laptop before you leave." "I can do that now." Tom stood up, extending his hand. "I'm sorry, David. I really am." I shook his hand. His palm was sweaty. "These things happen," I said. They walked me back to my desk like I was a prisoner being escorted to a cell, except I was leaving the cell, stepping out into something they couldn't see yet. My coworkers pretended not to watch. Some of them would be in that conference room next week. Some of them already knew. I packed my personal items into a cardboard box someone had left on my chair. A coffee mug my wife bought me 3 Christmases ago. A framed photo from our wedding where she's laughing and I'm looking at her like she's the only thing that matters. A stress ball shaped like a brain that a vendor gave me at a conference. 20 minutes later, I was in the parking garage, sitting in my 7-year-old Toyota, staring at the steering wheel. My phone buzzed. A text from Amanda, my wife. "How was your day?" I stared at those 3 words. Such a simple question, such a loaded answer. I could tell her the truth right now. Tell her about the severance, about the $200,000 sitting in a folder on the passenger seat. Tell her about the job offer I'd received 2 weeks ago from a competitor. More money, better title, signing bonus that would make her eyes go wide. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the way she'd been looking at me lately. Like I was a disappointment she was still trying to return but couldn't find the receipt for. Maybe it was the way she'd started working late 3 times a week. Maybe it was the perfume I didn't recognize when she came home last Tuesday. Or maybe it was the text I'd accidentally seen on her phone last weekend when she left it on the bathroom counter. Just a glimpse before the screen went dark. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." From a number without a name, I typed back, "Fine, normal day. Home by 6. Her reply came fast. "I'll be late tonight, working on the Henderson account." Henderson account? Right. I put the phone down and opened the severance folder again. Skimmed through the legal language until I found the timeline. Payout within 10 business days of signing. Health insurance through end of year. Non-compete clause that wouldn't matter because I wasn't competing. I was upgrading. The phone buzzed again. "Don't wait up. Might be really late." I looked at the wedding photo in the box. At Amanda's smile. At my own face. Younger and stupider and convinced I'd found something real. "Okay," I said to no one. I started the car and drove home, taking the long way, watching the city slide past like scenery in someone else's movie. The house was empty when I arrived. I carried the box inside and set it on the kitchen counter next to a stack of mail Amanda hadn't opened. The silence felt heavy, expectant. I made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, opened my laptop. The job offer from Titan Solutions was still in my inbox, waiting for an answer. Director of Infrastructure Systems, 30% salary increase. Relocation assistance if needed. They wanted me to start in 6 weeks. I clicked reply. "Thank you for your patience. I'm pleased to accept your offer. I can start on the proposed date. Sent. Done." I closed the laptop and looked around the kitchen. Everything was exactly where it had been this morning. Same marble countertops Amanda insisted we needed. Same stainless steel appliances she picked out. Same framed print of the Eiffel Tower from our honeymoon hanging above the breakfast nook. Nothing had changed. Everything had changed. My phone buzzed one more time. Another text from Amanda. Sorry, baby. This project is crazy. Love you. I read it 3 times. Then I deleted it and went upstairs to the bedroom. Her side of the closet was open. I could see the gap where her favorite black dress used to hang. The one she said made her feel confident. The one she'd worn last Tuesday when she came home smelling like someone else's cologne. I sat on the edge of the bed and thought about that text. The one without a name, the one that said, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." Tomorrow had been Tuesday. The dress had been missing Tuesday. I stood up and walked to her nightstand. Opened the drawer. Inside was the usual chaos. Old receipts, loose change, a tangle of charging cables, expired coupons, 3 different shades of lipstick, and a hotel key card. Fairmont Harborview. I turned it over in my hands. No date, no room number. Just the hotel logo and a magnetic strip that might or might not still work. I put it back exactly where I found it, closed the drawer, and went back downstairs. The house was still empty, still silent. I poured another cup of coffee and sat at the kitchen table, watching the clock above the stove tick toward midnight. Amanda came home at 1:15 in the morning. I heard her car in the driveway, heard the garage door open and close, heard her heels clicking across the tile floor. She stopped when she saw me sitting there in the dark. "You scared me," she said, one hand pressed against her chest. "Why are you still up?" "Couldn't sleep." She set her purse on the counter and kicked off her shoes. "Long day?" "Yeah." "Mine too." She opened the refrigerator, pulled out a bottle of water, took a long drink. "The Henderson thing is turning into a nightmare." "I bet." She looked at me then, really looked. "Are you okay? You seem weird." "Just tired." "You should go to bed." "I will." She kissed the top of my head as she walked past, her fingers briefly touching my shoulder. "Don't stay up too late." I listened to her footsteps on the stairs, heard the bedroom door close, heard the shower turn on. I sat there in the dark for another hour, thinking about hotel key cards and unnamed phone numbers and black dresses that go missing on Tuesday nights, thinking about $200,000 in severance pay that nobody knew about, thinking about a new job that started in 6 weeks, thinking about how easy it is to underestimate someone when you've stopped paying attention. The clock hit 2:30. I went upstairs. Amanda was already asleep, curled on her side, her phone charging on the nightstand within easy reach. I lay down on my side of the bed and stared at the ceiling, listening to her breathe, and I smiled in the dark. Because they don't know. Nobody knows. The next morning, I woke up to an empty bed. Amanda had already left for work, no note, no text, just the faint smell of her perfume and a coffee mug in the sink with lipstick on the rim. I made breakfast, scrambled eggs and toast, sat at the kitchen table scrolling through job listings I didn't need anymore, keeping up appearances for an audience of nobody. The severance papers were still in my car. I'd bring them in later, put them somewhere safe, somewhere Amanda wouldn't accidentally find them while looking for something else. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. "Can you pick up groceries today? We're out of everything." I typed back. "Sure. Any requests?" "Whatever. You know what we need." "Right. Whatever." I finished breakfast, washed the dishes, went for a run around the neighborhood. 45 minutes of pounding pavement, watching other people's houses slide past, wondering how many of them were built on the same kind of comfortable lies. When I got back, I showered and dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. Casual, unemployed, exactly what I was supposed to look like. I grabbed the severance folder from the car and brought it inside. Stood in the home office for a minute, thinking about where to put it. Finally slid it between 2 old tax returns in the filing cabinet. Hidden in plain sight. Amanda never touched the financial files anyway. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Amanda. "Forgot to tell you. Going out with Lisa tonight. Girls' night. Don't wait up. Lisa." Her friend from college. The one she hadn't mentioned in 6 months. The one whose number wasn't even saved in her recent calls list. I sat down at my desk and opened my laptop. Logged into our joint checking account. Amanda had been using her debit card a lot lately. Coffee shops, restaurants, gas stations on the other side of town, nowhere near her office, nowhere near any Henderson account. I clicked on the transaction history, filtered by the past 2 weeks. 3 charges at the Fairmont Harborview. 1 for lunch, 2 for room service. I leaned back in my chair and closed my eyes. Evidence doesn't lie. People do. My phone buzzed one more time. I picked it up, expecting another message from Amanda. It wasn't from Amanda. It was from Tom, my old manager. "HR needs you to come in tomorrow to sign final paperwork." 10 a.m. Won't take long. I replied, "I'll be there." The rest of the day crawled past. I went to the grocery store like Amanda asked. Bought everything we needed and a few things we didn't. Came home and put it all away. Made dinner. Ate alone. Cleaned up. Amanda didn't come home until after midnight. I was in bed, pretending to sleep, when I heard her stumble in. She bumped into the dresser, giggled, whispered something I couldn't make out. Then silence. I kept my eyes closed and my breathing steady while she undressed and climbed into bed beside me. She smelled like wine and men's cologne. Not my cologne. She fell asleep within minutes, her back to me, her phone clutched in one hand like a lifeline. I lay there for another hour, staring at the ceiling, doing calculations in my head. 200,000 in severance, plus the salary increase at the new job, plus the signing bonus they mentioned but haven't formalized yet, plus Amanda's income, which technically was half mine until we officially weren't married anymore. But we weren't there yet. Not yet. Because right now, Amanda thought she had all the power. Thought she was getting away with something. Thought I was too stupid or too trusting or too weak to notice. And I needed her to keep thinking that. Just a little longer. I closed my eyes and forced myself to sleep, dreaming of nothing. The next morning I drove to my old office, parked in the visitor lot since my badge didn't work anymore. Walked through the lobby, trying not to notice the way people looked away when they saw me. Jennifer from HR met me in the lobby. "Thanks for coming in, David," she said, all business now that the awkward part was over. "This should only take a few minutes?" She led me to a small conference room, different from the one where they had laid me off. Smaller, more impersonal. The kind of room where you sign papers and stop existing. "Just need your signature on these final documents," she said, spreading them across the table. "Then we're all set." I read through each page carefully. Non-disclosure agreement. Intellectual property release. Final confirmation of severance terms. Everything looked standard. I signed. Jennifer collected the papers and slid them into a folder. "Your final paycheck and severance will be deposited by the end of next week." "Thank you." "Good luck, David. I mean that. I appreciate it." She walked me back to the lobby, shook my hand, disappeared into an elevator. I stood there for a moment, looking around at the company I'd given 8 years of my life to. The company that had just paid me $200,000 to go away quietly. Worth it. I walked out to the parking lot and sat in my car. Pulled out my phone. No messages from Amanda. I drove home, taking a different route this time. Stopped at a car dealership just to look. Walked through the lot, hands in pockets, playing the part of a guy who was just browsing. The sales guy approached within 30 seconds. "Can I help you find something?" he asked, all teeth and cologne. "Just looking," I said. "Well, let me know if you have any questions. Name's Brett." "Thanks, Brett." I walked past the used cars toward the new models in the back. Stopped in front of a black Audi A6. Sleek, powerful, expensive. Exactly the kind of car Amanda would notice. Brett materialized beside me. "Beautiful machine. Just came in last week." "How much?" he told me. I didn't flinch. "You interested in a test drive?" "Not today," I said, "but soon. Take my card." He handed me a business card with his number. "When you're ready, give me a call. I'll make you a good deal." I pocketed the card and left. Drove home. Amanda was in the kitchen when I walked in, eating yogurt and staring at her phone. "How'd it go?" she asked without looking up. "Fine, just paperwork." "When does the severance come through?" "Next week." "How much?" I paused, calculated, lied. "About 40,000. She looked up then. "That's it? After 8 years?" "They're restructuring. Everyone got the same basic package. That's not going to last very long. I'll find something." "You better." She went back to her phone. "I can't carry us both on my salary." I opened the refrigerator, stared at the contents without seeing them. "I know." "Have you even been looking?" "Every day." "You need to try harder, David. This isn't sustainable." "I understand." She stood up, rinsed her yogurt cup, threw it away. "I have a meeting in an hour. Don't forget we're low on milk." "I'll get some." She grabbed her purse and keys, paused at the door. "We need to talk later, about money, about where we are." "Okay. I'm serious." "So am I." She left without saying goodbye. I stood in the kitchen for a long time after her car disappeared down the street. Then I pulled out my phone and called Brett, the car salesman. "Hey, it's David. I was just there looking at the Audi." "Oh yeah, great car. Changed your mind about that test drive?" "I want to buy it." Silence on the other end. Then, "You want to buy it? Today?" "Today. Cash. Can you make that happen?" Yeah, absolutely. When can you come in?" "Give me 2 hours. I'll have everything ready." I hung up and went to the home office, pulled the severance folder out of the filing cabinet, opened my laptop and logged into my bank account. The old account. The one Amanda didn't know about. The one I'd opened 6 months ago when things started feeling wrong. The new job offer had included a signing bonus, $10,000 deposited last week as an advance gesture of good faith from Titan Solutions. I transferred $20,000 from savings into the old account, added the $10,000 from the signing bonus, $30,000 total, enough for a down payment and first month's payment on the Audi. The severance would cover the rest later, but Amanda didn't need to know that. I closed the laptop and headed for the door. 2 hours later, I was sitting in Brett's office at the dealership, signing purchase papers while he grinned like he'd won the lottery. Okay, this is the easiest sale I've made all month, he said. You sure you don't want to finance? We've got some great rates right now. Cash is fine. Your call. Keys should be ready in about an hour. We just need to do the final inspection and detail. I'll wait. I sat in the customer lounge drinking bad coffee and watching salespeople work other customers, everyone smiling and lying and pretending this was about more than money. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. Working late again. Don't wait up. Again. I texted back. No problem. See you when you get home? She didn't respond. An hour later, Brett handed me the keys to the Audi and walked me out to the lot. The car gleamed under the afternoon sun like it was made of dark water. She's all yours, Brett said. Congratulations. I got in, adjusted the seat and mirrors, started the engine. It purred. Enjoy it, Brett called as I pulled away. I drove home slowly, taking the scenic route, letting the car move under me like something alive. Parked it in the driveway instead of the garage, right where Amanda would see it when she came home, whenever that was. I went inside and made dinner, ate alone again, washed the dishes, sat in the living room watching a movie I wasn't paying attention to. My phone was silent all evening. At 10 p.m., I went upstairs and got ready for bed. Lay there in the dark, waiting. Amanda came home at 11:30. I heard her car pull into the driveway, heard the engine shut off. Then silence. A minute passed. 2, 3. Then I heard her heels clicking up the walkway, heard the front door open, heard her footsteps stop. David? She called from downstairs. David. I didn't answer. Her footsteps pounded up the stairs. She burst into the bedroom, breathing hard. What the heck is that car in the driveway? I rolled over and looked at her. It's mine. Yours? What do you mean yours? I bought it today. You... She stared at me. You bought a car? Are you insane? You just lost your job. I'm aware. Where did you get the money? Savings. We don't have savings. Not for something like that. I sat up. I have savings. Well, my savings. From before. This is unbelievable. She paced across the room. We're barely keeping our heads above water and you go buy a luxury car? What were you thinking? I was thinking I deserved something nice. Deserved? You... She stopped, took a breath. We need to talk. About what? About us, about this, about everything. Okay. Not now. I'm too angry right now. She pulled out her phone and typed something quickly, put it away. Tomorrow, we're going to sit down and have a serious conversation about where this relationship is going. Fine. She stormed into the bathroom and slammed the door. I lay back down and smiled at the ceiling. Tomorrow was going to be interesting. Morning came with a headache and no Amanda. I found a note on the kitchen counter. Stayed at Lisa's. Need space. We'll talk tonight. Lisa's. Right. I crumpled the note and threw it away. Made coffee. Sat at the kitchen table staring at my phone. The Audi was still in the driveway, black and perfect, and exactly what I needed it to be. A statement, a provocation, a test. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. I need you to understand how serious this is. I typed back, I understand. Do you? Because it doesn't feel like you do. We'll talk tonight like you said. Fine. I'll be home at 6. I set the phone down and finished my coffee. 6 weeks had passed since the layoff. 6 weeks since I'd signed the severance agreement. 6 weeks since Amanda started looking at me like I was something broken she needed to throw away. The money hit my account 3 days after I signed. $200,000, minus taxes, still more than enough. I'd spent exactly $31,000 of it. The car, some new clothes, a laptop upgrade, small things that added up to a person who wasn't drowning, a person who had options. Amanda didn't know about any of it. Didn't know about the new job starting next week. Didn't know about the severance. Didn't know I'd been watching her texts while she slept, watching her lie, watching her think she was smarter than me. I drove the Audi to the gym, worked out for 2 hours, came home and showered, checked my email, Message from Titan Solutions. Welcome aboard. Looking forward to Monday. Let us know if you need anything before your start date. I replied, thank you. See you Monday. Done. At 5:45, I was sitting in the living room when Amanda's car pulled into the driveway. She parked next to the Audi, stared at it for a long moment, then got out and came inside. She looked tired, wore the same clothes from yesterday. Her makeup was smudged. We need to talk, she said, dropping her purse on the couch. I'm here. She sat down across from me, folded her hands in her lap. This isn't working. What isn't working? Us. This. Everything. She took a breath. I've been doing a lot of thinking. About where we are, about where we're going. Okay. And I can't do this anymore, David. Can't do what? Be with someone who isn't trying, who gave up, who buys expensive cars when we're supposed to be worried about money. I said nothing. I need a partner, she continued. Someone who's ambitious, someone who's going somewhere. And I'm not that person. Not anymore. She looked at her hands. Maybe you never were. So what are you saying? I'm saying I think we should separate. Maybe get some distance, figure out what we both want. You want a separation? I think it's best. I leaned back and studied her face. The way she wouldn't meet my eyes, the way her fingers twisted together, the guilt she wasn't quite hiding. There's someone else, I said. She looked up. What? You're seeing someone. That's not what this is about. But there is someone. David, yes or no? She stood up. I'm not doing this. I'm not letting you turn this into something it's not. Answer the question. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. She grabbed her purse. I'm staying with Lisa for a few days. We can talk about logistics later. Lisa, right. Don't do that. Do what? Act like you know something you don't. I stood up and walked to the window, looked out at the Audi sitting there in the fading light. I'm not acting. What does that mean? It means I'm not stupid, Amanda. I never said you were. You didn't have to. She moved toward the door. I'll come by this weekend to get some things. We can figure out the rest after that. Before you go, I said, still looking out the window. How long? How long what? How long have you been seeing him? Silence. I turned around. She was frozen in the doorway, one hand on the frame. It started after you lost your job, she said quietly. I was lonely. You were distant. It just happened. It just happened. I didn't plan it. Does he know about me? Of course he knows about you. Does he know you're still married? We're separated, as of today. Right, as of today. She opened the door. I'm sorry, David, I really am. No, you're not. I didn't want it to be like this. But it is. She left without another word. I stood there for a long time after her car disappeared, watching the shadows lengthen across the lawn. Then I pulled out my phone and opened my messages, scrolled up to 3 weeks ago, to the text I'd screenshotted while Amanda was in the shower. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Wear that dress I like. From a contact she'd labeled Henderson Account. I opened a new text thread. Amanda's number, typed slowly. You're right. This isn't working. Deleted it. Started over. Good luck with Henderson. Deleted that too. Finally, I just typed what I felt. You should know I start my new job Monday. Director position, 60% salary increase. The severance was $200K, the car costs $31K. I'm doing fine. You're right that this isn't working, but not for the reasons you think. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted the whole thing and put my phone away. Not yet. Not like this. The weekend passed in a haze of silence and empty rooms. Amanda didn't come by to get her things, didn't text, didn't call. I went about my life like nothing had changed. Ran errands, cleaned the house, watched movies, slept in the middle of the bed now instead of on my side. Monday morning, I put on a suit for the first time in 6 weeks. Drove the Audi to Titan Solutions. Walked into the lobby like I owned the place. My new boss, Patricia, met me at reception. David, welcome. Ready for your first day? Absolutely. She walked me through the office, introducing me to people whose names I immediately forgot, showing me conference rooms and break rooms and the view from the executive floor. My office was twice the size of my old cubicle. Corner view, glass walls, my name already on the door. We're excited to have you, Patricia said. Your reputation precedes you. Happy to be here. Settle in. We'll have a team meeting at 10 to get you up to speed. She left me alone in my new office. I sat in my new chair behind my new desk and looked out at the city spreading below like a promise. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. Can we talk? I stared at the message. Typed, I'm at work. You found something? Started today. Long pause. 3 dots appearing and disappearing. Finally. That's great. I'm happy for you. Thanks. Can we still talk? About us? What's there to talk about? You were clear last week. I was upset. I said things I didn't mean. You meant them. David, please. What do you want, Amanda? Another pause. I miss you. I read that message 3 times. You miss me? Yes. Since when? Since you left. Since I had time to think. What did Lisa say about all this? No response. I put my phone away and turned my attention to the files Patricia had left on my desk. Technical specifications, system architecture, integration timelines, real work, important work, work that mattered. The rest of the day disappeared into meetings and introductions and the comfortable rhythm of being good at something that people valued. At 6 p.m., I drove home in the Audi, taking the long way, letting the engine purr under me like contentment. Amanda's car was in the driveway when I arrived. She was sitting on the front steps, hugging her knees, looking small. I parked and got out. Hey, she said. Hey, new job going okay? Yeah, good first day. That's good. She stood up. Can I come in? I unlocked the door and held it open. She walked past me into the house that was still legally half hers. We stood in the living room, not looking at each other. I made a mistake, she said finally. Okay. I was scared. About money, about the future. I panicked. Okay. And I know I hurt you. I know what I did was wrong. Do you? She looked at me then. I ended it. With him, it's over. Because I have a job now. Because I realized what I was throwing away. Which is what? Us, our marriage, everything we built together. I walked to the window, looked out at the street. You didn't care about any of that last week. I was wrong. You called me a loser. I can't date someone who gave up. Your exact words. She came closer. I was angry. I was scared. I wasn't thinking clearly. And now you are. Now I see what I almost lost. I turned around and looked at her. Really looked. At the tears in her eyes that might have been real. At the trembling in her hands that might have been genuine. At the desperation in her voice that might have been love, or might have been fear, or might have been something else entirely. I believe in second chances, she said quietly. Don't you? I thought about hotel receipts and unnamed contacts and perfume I didn't recognize. Thought about lies told in the dark and truths hidden in plain sight. Thought about $200,000 and a new job and a black Audi sitting in the driveway like proof of concept. No, I said. I don't. She stared at me. What? I said no. David. You made your choice, Amanda. Now you get to live with it. But I'm choosing differently now. I'm choosing you. I didn't ask you to. So that's it? We're just done? We were done last week. You ended it. Remember? I want to fix this. There's nothing to fix. It's over. David, please. You need to leave. This is my house, too. Then I'll leave. I walked past her toward the stairs. She grabbed my arm. Don't do this, she said. Please. I love you. I looked at her hand on my arm, at her face, at the tears running down her cheeks. You loved my potential, I said. You loved what I represented. You never loved me. That's not true. Yes, it is. I pulled my arm away and went upstairs. Packed a bag with clothes and toiletries and my laptop. Came back down. Amanda was still standing in the living room, crying. Where are you going? She asked. Hotel? You don't have to do this. Yeah, I do. I walked to the door, opened it, stopped. Amanda? What? I really hope Henderson was worth it. I left her standing there and drove to the closest hotel, checked in, went to my room, sat on the edge of the bed and stared at nothing. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please give me another chance. I turned off my phone and went to sleep. When I woke up Tuesday morning, there were 14 messages and 6 missed calls. I deleted them all without reading. Went to work. Came home, to the hotel, at 8. Ordered room service. Wednesday morning, more messages, more calls. Thursday, flowers delivered to my office with a card that said I was wrong. Please come home. Friday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? David? It's Patricia. Hey, what's up? Are you okay? You've seemed distracted all week. I'm fine, just dealing with some personal stuff. Anything I can help with? No, but thank you. Okay. Well, you're doing great work. I wanted you to know that. I appreciate it. She hung up. I sat in my hotel room that night eating takeout and watching television and wondering how long before Amanda stopped trying. Saturday morning, I got my answer. One final text. I understand. I'll move out by the end of the month. I'm sorry for everything. I read it twice, then I blocked her number and went for a drive. 3 weeks into the new job, and I'd almost forgotten what failure felt like. Almost. Every morning I woke up in that hotel room, upgraded now to a suite with a kitchenette because why not, and put on one of the new suits I'd bought. Drove the Audi to Titan Solutions, walked through those glass doors like I'd been born to be there. Patricia loved me. The team respected me. Projects that had been stalled for months suddenly moved forward because I knew how to translate technical language into executive decision-making. I was good at this, always had been. But now people were finally noticing. The apartment lease came through on a Thursday, modern building downtown, floor-to-ceiling windows, actual closet space, 2 bedrooms because I could afford it and because having extra space felt like breathing after years of suffocation. I signed the lease during lunch break, moved in that weekend, bought furniture that afternoon, minimal, clean, expensive. Everything Amanda would have hated because it wasn't warm or inviting or whatever other adjective she'd use to justify filling our house with decorative pillows that served no purpose. This was mine, just mine. Monday morning, I was sitting in my office reviewing infrastructure proposals when my desk phone rang. David, there's someone here to see you, the receptionist said. Says she's your wife? My hand tightened on the receiver. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says it's urgent. Tell her to make an appointment? She's pretty insistent. I closed my eyes, counted to 5. I'll be right down. Amanda was standing in the lobby wearing a dress I'd never seen before. Black. Fitted. The kind of dress you wear when you want something. Hey, she said when she saw me. You can't be here. I needed to see you. At my workplace? You blocked my number. You won't answer emails. What was I supposed to do? I glanced at the receptionist who was pretending not to listen. 5 minutes. Outside. We walked out to the plaza in front of the building. Concrete benches, decorative trees, people on lunch breaks scrolling through their phones. What do you want? I asked. I want to talk about the house. What about it? The mortgage, the bills. I can't afford it by myself. So sell it. It's our house, David. No, it's a house we bought together, past tense. You wanted separation, you got it. I didn't think you'd just disappear. What did you think would happen? She looked down at her hands. I thought we'd figure things out. Work through it. Eventually get back together. That's not happening. Because I made one mistake? One mistake. I laughed. It came out harsher than I meant. You had an affair, Amanda. You ended our marriage. You told me I wasn't good enough. Those aren't mistakes. Those are choices. I was confused. No, you were clear. Clearer than you'd been in months. A jogger ran past us. Someone's phone rang nearby. Normal city sounds. Normal life happening around us while we stood there excavating the corpse of something that used to matter. I can't afford the house, she said again. The mortgage is $3,000 a month. Plus utilities, plus everything else. I'm drowning. Then move out, get an apartment. I don't want to lose our home. It stopped being our home when you brought someone else into it. She looked up at me then, eyes wet. I never brought him there, I swear. We always met at hotels. Oh, well, that makes it so much better. Don't be like this. Like what? Cold. Mean. This isn't you. I stepped closer. You don't know what I am. You never did. David, here's what's going to happen. You're going to call a real estate agent. You're going to list the house. We're going to split whatever equity is left after we pay off the mortgage. Then we're going to file for legal separation and eventually a no-fault divorce. Clean, simple, done. I don't want a divorce. I don't care what you want. Please, just think about it. Think about everything we had. I have thought about it. That's why I'm done. I turned and walked back toward the building. She called after me, but I didn't stop. Didn't look back. Just kept walking until I was through the doors and into the elevator and back up to my floor where everything made sense and people did their jobs and nobody asked me to forgive the unforgivable. Patricia was waiting by my office. Everything okay? She asked. Personal stuff. It's handled. Good, because I need you in the conference room. The Meridian project just hit a snag. Give me 2 minutes. I went into my office, closed the door, stood at the window looking down at the plaza. Amanda was still there, standing exactly where I'd left her. Not moving, not leaving, just standing there like if she waited long enough, I'd come back down and tell her it was all a joke. I watched her for 30 seconds. Then I closed the blinds and went to the conference room. That night I went to a bar near my apartment. Nothing fancy. Local place with decent beer and a pool table in the back. I sat at the bar nursing a whiskey and watching a basketball game I didn't care about. Tough day? The bartender asked. Something like that. Want to talk about it? Not particularly. Fair enough. He refilled my glass without asking. This one's on the house. Thanks. I sipped the whiskey and tried not to think about Amanda standing in that plaza. Tried not to feel the satisfaction I'd felt watching her cry. Tried not to wonder if that made me a bad person. Decided I didn't care. My phone buzzed. Email from an address I didn't recognize. I opened it. David, this is Amanda. I got your work email from the company website. Please don't ignore this. We need to talk about the house, about us, about everything. I made mistakes. I know that. But you're not perfect either. You shut me out after the layoff. You stopped trying. You gave up on us before I did. So maybe we're both to blame here. Maybe we both need to take responsibility. I'm willing to do that if you are. Please call me, please. Amanda. I read it twice. Then I hit reply and typed, You're right. I'm not perfect. But I never gave up on us. I gave up on the version of you that only valued me when I was succeeding. That's not love. That's convenience. Don't email me here again. Sent. The bartender came back. Another? Yeah, he poured. Woman trouble. Ex-wife trouble. Ah, the worst kind. You got that right. My ex tried to take my truck in the divorce. Said she needed it because her car was unreliable. Never mind that I needed it for work. Judge didn't care. She got the truck. That's rough. Taught me a lesson, though. Never marry someone who wants what you have more than they want you. I raised my glass. Amen to that. We drank in comfortable silence. At 10 p.m., I paid my tab and walked back to my apartment. The streets were quiet. Cold wind coming off the water, city lights reflecting on wet pavement. I thought about Amanda's email, about her saying I shut her out, that I gave up first. Maybe she was right. Maybe I had stopped trying after the layoff, stopped pretending everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. But I hadn't cheated, hadn't lied, hadn't looked at her one day and decided she wasn't good enough anymore. That was all her. I got home and checked my mailbox. Bills, junk, and a large manila envelope with no return address. I took it upstairs and opened it. Inside were photographs, printed on regular copy paper. Low quality, but clear enough. Amanda and a man I didn't recognize, sitting at a restaurant table, her hand on his arm, him leaning close to say something that made her laugh. Another photo, same restaurant, different angle. His hand on her knee under the table, another photo. Hotel parking lot, the Fairmont Harbor view. Amanda getting out of a car. The same man holding the door for her. Another photo. Hotel lobby. Amanda and the man checking in at the desk. 6 more photos, all of them showing what I already knew. Proof I didn't need, but someone thought I should have. No note, no explanation. Just the photos and a timestamp in the corner of each one showing they were taken over the course of 2 weeks back in late October. Right after I got laid off, I spread them out on my kitchen counter and studied each one carefully. The man was younger than me, better looking, fit, confident body language. The kind of guy who'd never been laid off from anything in his life. I picked up one of the photos and looked closer. He was wearing a company badge on a lanyard around his neck. The photo quality was too poor to read the name, but I could make out the logo. Same logo as Amanda's company. So, a coworker, someone she saw every day, someone who'd been right there watching our marriage fall apart and decided to help it along. I gathered up the photos and put them back in the envelope, stuck it in a drawer, poured myself a drink. Someone had followed Amanda, photographed her, compiled evidence, sent it to me anonymously. Someone who wanted me to know, wanted me to have proof. But who? I sat on my couch and thought about that question for a long time. Came up with 3 possibilities. 1, someone from Amanda's work who knew what she was doing and thought I deserved to know. 2, someone from my old job who'd heard about the separation and wanted to help. 3, the guy's wife or girlfriend who'd figured it out and wanted to blow everything up. I decided it didn't matter. The photos existed. That was enough. I finished my drink and went to bed. Friday afternoon, I was leaving the office when I saw him. The man from the photos, standing in the parking garage next to a silver BMW, talking on his phone, laughing at something. I stopped walking. He looked exactly the same. Same confident posture, same expensive clothes, same face that had been pressed close to my wife's face in half a dozen photographs. He ended his call and got in the BMW, started the engine. I stood there watching. He backed out and drove toward the exit. Passed within 10 feet of where I was standing. Didn't even glance in my direction. I waited until his car disappeared down the ramp. Then I walked to my Audi and sat behind the wheel. My hands were shaking, not from fear, not from anger exactly, from possibility. Because now I knew what he looked like, knew what he drove, knew where he worked, same building as Amanda, same company, probably same floor. I knew him, and he had no idea I existed. I drove home slowly, thinking about those photographs, about Amanda's hand on his arm, his hand on her knee, the way they'd looked at each other like they were the only two people in the world, the way Amanda used to look at me before the layoff, before I became inconvenient, before I stopped being useful. I parked in my building's garage and sat there for another 10 minutes. Then I pulled out my phone and opened LinkedIn, found Amanda's profile, scrolled through her connections, started looking at profile photos, comparing them to the man I'd just seen, found him on the third page. Tyler Brennan, Senior Marketing Director. Same company as Amanda. Profile photo matched the face from the parking garage. Even had the same arrogant smile. I clicked on his profile. University of Michigan. MBA from Northwestern. 10 years at various tech companies. Promoted to Senior Director 8 months ago. Married. I clicked on his wife's tagged photo. Pretty blonde woman, 2 kids, dog, house in the suburbs, the whole package. She had no idea what her husband was doing downtown during those late work nights. I saved the profile information, screenshot everything, put my phone away, went upstairs to my apartment and made dinner, pasta with marinara sauce because cooking complex meals for one person felt stupid. I ate standing at the counter watching the news. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? Is this David? A woman's voice? Unfamiliar. Who's asking? My name is Claire. Claire Brennan. I think we need to talk. I set down my fork. About what? About my husband Tyler and your wife Amanda. Silence. How did you get my number? I asked finally. I'm resourceful, and I'm tired of being lied to. Can we meet? When? Tomorrow. There's a coffee shop on 5th and Madison. 1 p.m. I'll be wearing a blue jacket. How do I know this isn't some kind of setup? You don't, but I sent you those photos last week so you'd know I'm serious. The envelope. The photographs. Her. Why? I asked. Because I thought you deserved to know the truth. Same as me? What do you want from me? Nothing. I just want to talk. Compare notes. Figure out how long this has been going on. I already know how long. Do you? Because I've got text messages going back 6 months. Hotel receipts, credit card statements. They've been very careful, but not careful enough. 6 months. Before the layoff. Before Amanda's sudden late nights. Before everything fell apart. I'll be there, I said. Good. See you tomorrow. She hung up. I stood in my kitchen holding my phone and trying to process what just happened. Tyler Brennan's wife knew. Had known for a while. Had been collecting evidence. Had decided to reach out. To me. I finished my dinner without tasting it. Cleaned up. Sat on my couch staring at nothing. This was getting complicated. But complicated meant options. Options meant leverage. Leverage meant control. And I was very good with control. Saturday at 12:30, I put on jeans and a sweater and drove to the coffee shop. Found parking 2 blocks away. Walked there slowly, watching the street, watching the people, watching everything. The coffee shop was one of those trendy places with exposed brick and industrial lighting and a chalkboard menu that made ordering complicated. I spotted her immediately. Blue jacket. Sitting at a corner table with her back to the wall. Smart. You always want to see who's coming. She saw me too, waved me over. David? She asked when I reached the table. Claire? Thanks for coming. She gestured to the empty chair. Sit. I already ordered you a coffee. Black. Hope that's okay. It's fine. I sat down, studied her face. Mid-30s. Tired eyes. The kind of expression people get when they've been crying a lot but are done with tears now. So, she said, here we are. Here we are. Your wife and my husband have been sleeping together for at least 6 months. Possibly longer. Sounds about right. You don't seem surprised. I figured it out a while ago. But you didn't confront her. No. Why not? I sipped the coffee. It was good. Because confrontation doesn't solve anything. It just makes people defensive, makes them lie better. So what's your plan? I don't have a plan. Liar. She leaned forward. You're sitting here with me. That's a plan. You want information. You want to know what I know. You want to see if we can help each other. Can we? Maybe. Depends on what you want out of this. What do you want? I want my marriage back. I want Tyler to realize what he's throwing away. I want him to choose us over her. That's not going to happen. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Because people don't change. They just get better at hiding who they really are. She sat back. You sound bitter. I sound realistic. So you're just done? You're walking away? I already walked away. Amanda can have whatever life she wants, without me. And Tyler? What about him? Don't you want him to face consequences? I thought about that. About Tyler in the parking garage. About his confident smile. About the way he'd laughed on the phone without a care in the world. Yeah, I said. I do? Good. She pulled a folder out of her bag, set it on the table. Then let's talk about how we make that happen. I opened the folder. Inside were dozens of pages, text message screenshots, email printouts, hotel receipts, credit card statements, a complete timeline of the affair from March to present. You've been busy, I said. I'm thorough. How'd you get all this? Tyler's. He thinks deleting texts means they're gone forever. Doesn't realize I have access to the cloud backup. Same with emails. He uses his work account for personal stuff. Company policy says they can monitor everything. I made some calls, greased some palms, got what I needed. That's impressive. I'm a lawyer. This is what I do. That explained the methodical approach, the documentation, and the careful evidence collection. What do you want me to do with this? I asked. I want you to help me expose them, publicly, professionally, completely. Why would I do that? Because you're angry, because they humiliated you, because you want them to feel what you felt. She wasn't wrong, but I was careful, always careful. You don't survive 8 years at a tech company without learning when to keep your cards hidden. What's in it for you? I asked. Tyler loses his job, loses his reputation, comes home desperate and grateful and willing to do whatever it takes to rebuild our family. You really think that'll work? I think he needs to hit bottom before he can climb back up. And Amanda? I don't care about Amanda. She can go wherever she wants. But she's not keeping my husband. I closed the folder and pushed it back across the table. I'm not interested in revenge. Yes, you are. That's why you're here. I'm here because I was curious. Now I'm done being curious. You're afraid. I'm smart. There's a difference. So you're just going to let them get away with it? They're not getting away with anything. Their relationship is built on lies. It'll collapse on its own eventually. That's not good enough. It is for me. I stood up. She grabbed my wrist. Wait, please, just listen. I'm listening. Tyler's up for a promotion, vice president of marketing, big title, big salary, corporate housing in New York. It's everything he's worked for. Good for him. The decision gets made next month. If certain information reached the right people before then, information about his conduct, about his judgment, about his inability to maintain professional boundaries, that promotion disappears. And you want me to help you leak that information. I want us to work together, pool our resources, make sure the right people know what kind of man Tyler really is. I pulled my wrist free. Find someone else. There is no one else. You're the only other person who knows, who has a reason to care. I don't care. Liar. Believe what you want. I walked out of the coffee shop and down the street to where I'd parked the Audi. Got in, sat there. Claire's folder was still on the table inside. I'd left it there deliberately. Because I meant what I said. I wasn't interested in revenge, but I was interested in Tyler Brennan losing something he wanted. I started the car and drove home. Monday morning, I was at my desk reviewing system logs when Patricia knocked on my office door. Got a minute? She asked. Sure, what's up? She came in and closed the door behind her, sat down across from me. We need to talk about something sensitive. Okay. I got a call this morning from HR. Someone submitted a complaint about you. I set down my coffee. What kind of complaint? Harassment. Specifically that you've been showing up at your ex-wife's workplace, making threats, creating a hostile environment. That's not true. I know, I told them that. But they need to follow up anyway, standard procedure. Who filed the complaint? They wouldn't say, confidential. But I knew. Amanda. trying to control the narrative, trying to paint me as the bad guy before I could do anything. I went to her office once, I said. 3 weeks ago. She showed up here uninvited. I went there to tell her to stop. That's it. Do you have proof of that? Building security cameras probably caught me. I was there for less than 5 minutes. Good. I'll have HR pull that footage. This should clear up pretty quickly. Thanks, Patricia. Just be careful, David. Divorce stuff can get messy. Don't give anyone ammunition. I won't. She left. I sat there for a minute processing what just happened. Amanda was escalating, trying to preempt whatever she thought I might do, trying to make me look dangerous or unstable or threatening. Smart move, defensive, but smart. I pulled out my phone and texted my lawyer, hired 2 weeks ago specifically for this kind of situation. Amanda filed a harassment complaint against me at work. False allegations. Need to document everything. He replied within minutes. Don't contact her. Don't respond to anything. Document everything. Forward me any communications. Will do. I went back to work, focused on code reviews and system architecture and problems that had actual solutions. At lunch, I drove to Amanda's office building, parked across the street, watched the entrance. I wasn't going in, wasn't going to talk to her, just watching, gathering information. At 12:30, Tyler Brennan walked out. Amanda was with him. They stood on the sidewalk talking. She laughed at something he said, touched his arm, the same casual intimacy I'd seen in the photographs. They walked down the street together toward a sandwich shop, disappeared inside. I started the car and followed, parked in a loading zone half a block away, watched through the shop window. They were sitting at a corner table, close, comfortable. He said something. She smiled and shook her head. He leaned closer. They weren't hiding, weren't being careful. Just two coworkers having lunch in the middle of downtown where anyone could see them, where his wife could see them, where I was seeing them. I pulled out my phone and took 3 photos through the window. Not great quality, but clear enough. Then I drove back to work. That night I went to the gym, ran on the treadmill for an hour, lifted weights until my arms burned, sat in the sauna until I couldn't breathe. Came home, showered, made dinner. At 8 p.m., my doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. Claire Brennan was standing in the hallway wearing the same blue jacket from Saturday. I opened the door. How did you get my address? I'm a lawyer. I have resources. Can I come in? No. 5 minutes, please. I stepped aside. She walked in and looked around my apartment, taking inventory, judging. Lawyers did that. Nice place, she said. What do you want, Claire? I want to apologize. I came on too strong at the coffee shop. I was angry and I took it out on you. That wasn't fair. Apology accepted. Goodbye. Wait. Let me finish. You have 3 minutes. I've been thinking about what you said, about how revenge doesn't work, about how their relationship will collapse on its own. And you're probably right, but I still want to do something. I still want Tyler to face consequences. Not because I'm vindictive, because he needs to understand what he did was wrong. So make him understand. I can't. Not by myself. He doesn't respect me anymore, doesn't listen. But if someone else got involved, someone he doesn't expect, that might shake him up enough to pay attention. That someone being me. Yes. No. David, I'm not getting involved in your marriage counseling. That's your problem, not mine. What if I told you Tyler's planning to leave me? That he's already looking at apartments in New York? That he's going to take this promotion and disappear and leave me and the kids with nothing? Then get a good divorce lawyer. Oh wait, you are one. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. She pulled out her phone, showed me a screenshot. Email from Tyler to Amanda dated yesterday. Can't wait to start our new life together. New York is going to be amazing, just us. No more hiding, no more lies. I love you. I read it twice. He's leaving his family for her, Claire said quietly. For your wife. They're planning a whole future together, while you and I get left behind with the wreckage. I handed back her phone. I'm sorry, that's rough, but it's still not my problem. You don't care? I care that Amanda chose someone else. I don't care what they do after that. Even if it means she gets everything she wants, even if Tyler gets his promotion and they ride off into the sunset while we both sit here alone. Especially then. Why? Because their happiness isn't built on anything real. It's built on excitement and secrets and the thrill of getting away with something. That doesn't last. And when it falls apart, and it will fall apart, I want to be nowhere near the explosion. She stared at me. You really believe that? Yeah, I do. You're better than me. I want to burn it all down. That's the anger talking. Maybe, or maybe it's clarity. She headed for the door, stopped, turned back. If you change your mind, she said, you know how to reach me. I won't change my mind. We'll see. She left. I locked the door behind her and stood there for a minute. Then I pulled out my phone and looked at the photos I'd taken at lunch. Amanda and Tyler sitting close, comfortable, planning their future. I thought about Tyler's email, about New York, about promotions and new apartments and starting over. Thought about how easy it would be to make one phone call, send one email, drop one hint in the right person's ear, how easy it would be to destroy everything they were building. I deleted the photos, put my phone away, went to bed. Tuesday morning, I was in a meeting with the senior leadership team when my phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. This is Tyler. We need to talk about Amanda. I stared at the message. Patricia was talking about Q4 projections. Someone else was asking about timeline. Normal meeting sounds fading into background noise. I typed back, "Who is this?" "Tyler Brennan. Amanda's boyfriend. Can we meet? How did you get this number?" "From Amanda. She said you've been harassing her. Said you're not handling the separation well. I want to make sure we're clear on boundaries." I read that message 3 times. Boundaries. This guy, this person who'd been sleeping with my wife for 6 months, wanted to talk to me about boundaries. I typed, "When?" "Tonight, 7 p.m. Riverside Park, near the fountain. I'll be there." I put my phone away and tried to focus on the meeting. Patricia asked me a question about server capacity. I answered automatically. My brain was somewhere else. Tyler wanted to meet, wanted to confront me, wanted to establish dominance. Perfect. Because now I had permission. The meeting ended at 11. I went back to my office and closed the door, opened my laptop and started researching Tyler Brennan, found his company profile, his LinkedIn, his social media accounts. Minimal presence, carefully curated. Photos of his wife and kids, posts about work achievements, nothing personal, nothing real. Found his home address through property records, big house in an expensive suburb, 4 bedrooms, pool, 3-car garage, net worth probably north of $2 million considering the real estate alone. Found his promotion announcement, internal company memo that someone had leaked to a tech blog. Vice President of Marketing. Start date February 1st. Relocation to New York office. Salary range estimated at $300,000 plus bonus. Everything Claire had said was true. Tyler was ascending, had everything lined up perfectly, job, money, woman, future, and he wanted to make sure I stayed in my lane. At 6:30, I changed into jeans and a dark jacket, drove to Riverside Park, found parking near the fountain. The park was mostly empty. Cold evening, few joggers, couple walking a dog, no one paying attention. I sat on a bench near the fountain and waited. Tyler showed up at 7:05, deliberately late. Power move, establishing that his time was more valuable than mine. He walked up and stood in front of me, didn't sit. Another power move, looking down, dominant position. "David?" he asked. "Tyler. Thanks for meeting me. What do you want?" He put his hands in his pockets, casual, relaxed. "I want to clear the air, make sure we understand each other." "About what?" "About Amanda, about your marriage, about how this is going to work going forward." "How what's going to work?" "The separation, the divorce, all of it. Amanda's worried you're going to make this difficult. I told her I'd talk to you, man to man, get things settled." I stood up. Now we were eye level. "You want to settle things." "I want to make sure you're not going to harass her. Show up at her work. Cause problems." "I went to her office once, to tell her to stop showing up at mine." "She says you're obsessive, that you can't let go, that you're struggling with the fact that she's moved on." "Is that what she told you?" "That's what I'm seeing. You bought a fancy car, got a new apartment. You're trying to prove something, trying to show her you're still relevant." I smiled, couldn't help it. "That's what you think?" "That's what I know. Look, I get it. Divorce is hard, rejection is hard, but Amanda's happy now. She's in a good place, and I need you to respect that." "Respect what exactly?" "Her choice, her happiness, our relationship, your relationship. Yeah, Amanda and I are together. We're building something real, and we don't need you interfering." "Interfering how?" "Showing up, calling, texting, any of it. You need to move on." I took a step closer. He didn't move, confident, sure of himself. "Let me make sure I understand," I said. "You started sleeping with my wife while we were still married. You helped her decide I wasn't good enough. You convinced her to throw away 8 years because I lost my job. And now you want me to respect your relationship. It wasn't like that. What was it like? Amanda was unhappy, had been for a while. I just helped her see she deserved better. Better meaning you. Better meaning someone who treated her right, someone who was present, someone who wasn't giving up on life. I didn't give up on life. I got laid off. And you stopped trying, stopped being a partner, stopped being the man she married. Did she tell you that? She didn't have to. I could see it. The way she talked about you, the way she looked when she mentioned your name, like she was trapped. So you rescued her. I gave her an option. She made the choice. And now you're here warning me to stay away. I'm here asking you to be mature about this, to accept reality and move forward. What if I don't? He stepped closer. Close enough I could smell his cologne. Expensive. Probably the same scent Amanda came home wearing those late nights. Then we'll have a problem, he said quietly. And trust me, you don't want that problem. Is that a threat? It's a promise. Amanda's with me now. She's happy, she's protected, and I will do whatever it takes to keep her that way, including making sure you understand your place in all this. My place? Yeah, your place, which is nowhere. You're the ex, the past, the mistake she's correcting. So do yourself a favor and disappear. He turned and started walking away. Tyler, I called after him. He stopped, looked back. You should know something, I said. What's that? Amanda told me the same thing about you, that you're temporary, that you're exciting but not sustainable, that once the novelty wears off, she'll realize what she gave up. She didn't say that. Sure she did, about 3 weeks ago, when she showed up at my office begging for another chance, when she said she made a mistake and wanted to come home. His face changed, confidence cracking. You're lying. Am I? Ask her. Ask her about the flowers she sent to my office, about the texts she sent apologizing, about how she said she still loves me and wants to fix our marriage. That's not, she wouldn't, she did, because that's who Amanda is. She keeps her options open, hedges her bets, makes sure she's never the one left with nothing. You're trying to mess with my head. I'm trying to help you see what you're dealing with, but you won't, because you think you're special, you think you're different, you think she chose you because you're better than me. I walked closer. He didn't move this time, stood there frozen. She didn't choose you, I said. She chose your promotion, your salary, your future. And when something better comes along, and it will, she'll choose that too. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I lived it. Now you get to. We're done here. Yeah, we are. Enjoy New York. He walked away fast, angry, shaken. I watched him disappear into the parking lot, heard his car start, saw his taillights fade down the street. Then I sat back down on the bench and pulled out my phone, opened my texts, found Claire's number, typed, Tyler Brennan, Riverside Park, tonight, 7 p.m. Threatened me, told me to stay away from Amanda, confirmed they're moving to New York together, thought you should know. Sent. Her reply came 60 seconds later. Thank you, this helps. Can we meet tomorrow? Maybe, I'll let you know. I put my phone away and sat there for another 20 minutes watching the fountain spray water into the cold air, thinking about Tyler's face when I mentioned Amanda's apology, the way his confidence shattered, the way he suddenly realized she might not be as committed as he thought. Seeds of doubt. That's all it took. Just plant the seeds and watch them grow. I stood up and walked back to my car, started the engine, drove home. Tomorrow was going to be interesting. Wednesday morning started like any other Wednesday until it didn't. I was in the office reviewing infrastructure reports when my phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. First one in 3 weeks since I'd blocked her and she'd switched to a new number. We need to talk. It's important, please. I stared at the message for 30 seconds. Thought about deleting it. Thought about blocking this number too. Instead I typed, about what? Us. Everything. I made a terrible mistake. You made several. Please, David, just hear me out. One conversation, that's all I'm asking. No. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. I saw you yesterday. In the parking garage at my building. You were watching us. So she'd noticed. Interesting. I wasn't watching you. I was leaving a meeting in that building. There are no Titan Solutions clients in our building. I checked. Smart. She'd done her homework. But not smart enough. Believe what you want. I have work to do. Tyler told me you two talked. that you said I wanted to get back together. There it was. Tyler had gone home and told Amanda about our conversation, about the seeds I'd planted, about the doubt. He's lying, is he? Because if you told him that just to mess with his head, that's incredibly manipulative, says the woman who had an affair for 6 months. I'm not defending what I did, I'm just saying you're not innocent either. I never claimed to be. So you admit you're trying to sabotage my relationship? No, I'm just living my life. If your relationship is fragile enough that one conversation with me can sabotage it, maybe you should examine why that is. Long pause. No response for 2 minutes. Then, can we please just meet? Coffee, public place, 30 minutes. Why? Because I miss you. Because I made a horrible mistake. Because I want to fix this. There's nothing to fix. Please, David, I'm begging you. I read that message 3 times. Begging. Amanda Crawford didn't beg, didn't plead, didn't ask for anything she couldn't demand. Something had changed. I typed, 1 coffee, Thursday, noon, the place on 5th. Thank you. I'll be there. I put my phone down and went back to work. But my mind was elsewhere, calculating, planning, wondering what had shifted to make Amanda desperate enough to beg. That evening I met Claire at a bar near the waterfront. Her choice, quiet place, dark corners, good for conversations you didn't want overheard. She was already there when I arrived, sitting in a booth in the back, glass of wine in front of her, no blue jacket this time, black sweater, hair pulled back, looking tired. Thanks for coming, she said as I slid into the booth. What's this about? Tyler came home last night, late, drunk, started accusing me of following him, of spying on him, said someone had been feeding me information. Did you tell him it was me? I told him I had my own sources, that I didn't need anyone feeding me anything. He didn't believe me. The bartender came over. I ordered a whiskey. He disappeared. Tyler's paranoid now, Claire continued. Thinks I'm tracking his phone, monitoring his emails. He changed all his passwords, started leaving his phone in the car when he comes home. Good. Let him be paranoid. It gets better. He and Amanda had a fight this morning, in the parking garage at work. I have a friend who works in their building. She saw the whole thing. What were they fighting about? You. Apparently Amanda's been texting you. Tyler didn't know about it. Got angry when he found out. Accused her of keeping options open, of not being fully committed to him. I smiled. The seeds were growing faster than I'd expected. That's interesting, I said. It's more than interesting. It's working. Whatever you said to him at the park, it got into his head, made him question everything. The bartender brought my whiskey. I took a long drink. I'm meeting Amanda tomorrow, I said. Claire's eyes widened. You're what? She asked to meet. Coffee, public place. Says she wants to talk. About what? Getting back together, fixing our marriage. The usual. You're not seriously considering it. No. But I want to hear what she has to say. Why? Information. The more I know about where her head is, the better I can navigate this. You're playing both sides. I'm protecting myself. By meeting with your ex-wife while her boyfriend spirals. Exactly. Claire leaned back and studied me. You're smarter than I gave you credit for. Thanks, I think. Tyler's promotion announcement is next week, Monday morning, corporate meeting, big deal. If something were to derail that between now and then, something significant, he'd lose everything. Like what? Like evidence of an affair with a subordinate, like proof he's been violating company ethics policies, like documentation showing he used company resources for personal relationships. You have that documentation? I have some of it. Emails sent from his work account. Hotel charges on his corporate card. Calendar appointments marked as client meetings that were actually lunch dates with Amanda. That's not enough. It could be, if the right person saw it, if the right complaint was filed with HR, if someone took it seriously. I sipped my whiskey. You want me to file the complaint? I want you to consider it. Why would I do that? Because Tyler threatened you, told you to stay away, tried to intimidate you. That's harassment. That's worth reporting. To who? HR at a company I don't work for? To Amanda's HR, as her spouse. You have standing. You can file a complaint about an inappropriate workplace relationship, about a senior director dating someone in his department. Amanda doesn't report to Tyler. No, but they work in the same division, same floor. There's a clear power dynamic. Corporate policy is very specific about that. You've done your research. Like I said, I'm thorough. I finished my whiskey, signaled the bartender for another. What happens if I file this complaint? HR investigates, interviews witnesses, Reviews documentation, probably suspends Tyler pending the outcome. Promotion gets put on hold, maybe permanently. And Amanda? Depends on what the investigation finds. Worst case, she gets a written warning. More likely nothing happens to her at all since she's not in a position of power. So Tyler takes the fall. Tyler takes responsibility for his choices. That's not the same thing as taking the fall. The bartender brought my second whiskey. I didn't touch it. Just watched the ice melt. I need to think about it, I said. Don't think too long. The promotion announcement is Monday. After that, the window closes. I understand. Good. She stood up and dropped cash on the table. Let me know what you decide. She left. I sat there for another hour nursing the second whiskey and thinking about consequences and timing and how easy it would be to make one phone call that would change everything. Thursday at 11:30, I drove to the coffee shop on 5th. Found parking a block away, walked slowly, taking my time. Amanda was already there, same table where I'd met Claire, different energy entirely. She looked good, better than good. New haircut, makeup done carefully. Wearing a dress I'd never seen, emerald green, fitted, expensive, the kind of dress you wear when you want to remind someone what they're missing. Hey, she said when I sat down, nervous smile, hands clasped on the table. Hey, thanks for coming. You said it was important. It is. She took a breath. I need to apologize. For everything. For the way I handled things. For what I said. For how I ended our marriage. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I don't know. Something. Anything. You're being so cold. You expected warm? She looked down. I guess I deserved that. The barista brought over 2 coffees. Amanda must have ordered for both of us. Black for me, latte for her. She remembered. I've been thinking a lot, she said after the barista left. About us. About what went wrong. About my part in all of it. And I realize now I panicked. When you lost your job, I freaked out. Started seeing you differently. Started thinking about worst-case scenarios instead of believing in you. Started seeing Tyler. That was a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. But you made it anyway. I did. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, David. She reached across the table, touched my hand. I didn't pull away, but I didn't respond either. I miss you, she said quietly. I miss us. I miss what we had. What did we have? A partnership, a life, a future, all the things I threw away because I was scared and stupid and selfish. You're not wrong about the selfish part. She pulled her hand back. I know you hate me right now. I know you have every right to. But I'm asking you to consider, just consider, giving me another chance. Why? Because I love you. Because I made a terrible mistake and I want to fix it. Because we spent 8 years building something that matters. That mattered. Past tense. It still matters to me. Does Tyler know you're here? Her face changed. Just for a second. Micro-expression. Fear or guilt or both. Tyler and I are taking a break, she said carefully. A break. We needed space to figure things out, to see if what we have is real or just an affair that got out of hand. That's not fair. It's accurate. She sipped her latte, buying time, organizing her thoughts. I could see her brain working, calculating what to say, how to frame it. Tyler's going through some stuff, she said finally. Work stress, personal issues. He's been distant lately, pulling away, making me question whether he's really in this. So you're hedging your bets? I'm reassessing my choices. And you want me to be your backup plan. No, I want you to be my first choice. The choice I should have made from the beginning. Except you didn't make that choice. You made the opposite choice, very deliberately, very clearly. People change their minds, David. People grow, learn from mistakes. In 3 weeks? You've changed completely in 3 weeks? I've had time to think, to see what my life looks like without you, and I hate it. You hate being with Tyler. I hate being alone. Tyler's never around anymore, always working, always stressed, always talking about the promotion and New York and the future, but never about us, never about what we're building together. Sounds familiar. What's that supposed to mean? You left me because I wasn't ambitious enough, wasn't going anywhere, wasn't the success story you wanted. Now Tyler's too ambitious, too focused on work, too concerned with his career. You can't have it both ways. Maybe I don't want either way. Maybe I just want you, the way you are, the way we were, before the layoff, before everything fell apart. I leaned back and studied her face, the carefully applied makeup, the nervous energy, the desperation poorly hidden behind rehearsed words. "What changed?" I asked. "What do you mean?" 3 weeks ago you wanted nothing to do with me, called me a loser, ended our marriage. Now you want me back. Something changed. What was it?" She didn't answer right away. Looked out the window, watched people walk past, finally looked back at me. "Tyler told me about your new job, about the salary, about how well you're doing." There it was, the truth hiding behind the apology. "So you want me back because I'm successful again." It's not just about the money, but it's partially about the money. I want to be with someone stable, someone reliable, someone who has their life together, someone who can support you. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. David, tell me something. If I were still unemployed, if I were living in a studio apartment driving a 10-year-old Toyota, would you be sitting here right now asking for another chance? Silence. Answer the question, Amanda. I don't know. Maybe not. But does it matter? You're not unemployed. You do have a good job. Things worked out. For me, not for us. They could work out for us, if you let them. I stood up. Thanks for the coffee. Wait, where are you going? Back to work. I have a meeting at 1. But we're not done talking. Yes, we are. David, please, don't walk away. Not again. I'm not walking away. You did that already. I'm just not following you back. I love you. No, you don't. You love stability. You love success. You love the idea of not being alone. But you don't love me. You never did. That's not true. Prove it. How? Tell Tyler it's over. Not a break. Not space. Over. File for divorce from me. Move into your own place. Spend 6 months figuring out who you are without a man defining your worth. Then maybe, we can have this conversation again. 6 months? Minimum. I can't wait 6 months. Then you can't have me. I walked out before she could respond. Got in my car, drove back to the office. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Not from anger, from something else. Something that felt like power. Amanda wanted me back, not because she loved me, because Tyler was pulling away and she was scared of being alone and I represented security. I represented the safe choice, the backup plan. Well, she could take that backup plan and throw it in the ocean. I parked in the garage and sat there for 5 minutes, letting my breathing return to normal. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. I meant what I said. I do love you. Give me a chance to prove it. I deleted the message without responding. Another text immediately. Tyler doesn't know I'm trying to fix things with you. He'd be furious. Please don't tell him. I stared at that message. Amanda was playing both sides. Keeping Tyler close while testing the waters with me. Making sure she had options. Classic Amanda. I screenshotted the text and forwarded it to Claire with a message. Thought you should see this. Her reply came fast. She's unbelievable. Are you filing the complaint? I thought about that. About Tyler's promotion. About Amanda's desperation. About how easy it would be to make one phone call that would destroy everything they'd built. I typed back, not yet, but soon. How soon? By Friday. Before the announcement, Monday. Good. I'll be ready. I put my phone away and went inside. Patricia was waiting by my office. How was lunch? Fine. Personal stuff. Everything okay? Getting there. Good. We need you sharp for the Meridian presentation next week. I'll be ready. She walked away. I went into my office and closed the door, sat at my desk and opened my laptop, pulled up the HR portal for Amanda's company, public form, anyone could submit. Complaint type, workplace ethics violation, or description, inappropriate relationship between senior director and subordinate employee. Names, Tyler Brennan, Amanda Crawford. Evidence, I could attach the screenshots. The timeline Claire had compiled, the hotel receipts, everything. My finger hovered over the submit button. 1 click. That's all it would take. I closed the browser. Not yet, because timing was everything, and the right time hadn't come yet. But it was coming, soon. Friday afternoon, I was leaving the office early, rare treat, finished my work ahead of schedule, when I saw Tyler's BMW in the parking garage again. Same spot as before, silver paint gleaming under the fluorescent lights. Empty. I stopped walking, looked around. Nobody nearby. Just rows of cars and concrete pillars and security cameras that probably didn't work. I walked closer to the BMW, circled it slowly. No damage, no dirt. Pristine. The kind of car that screamed success and privilege and everything Tyler thought made him better than everyone else. My phone was in my pocket. I could call Claire, tell her Tyler was here, let her know he was probably meeting with clients in one of the buildings nearby. Instead, I just stood there looking at the car, thinking about Tyler's face at the park, his confidence, his threats, his absolute certainty that he'd won. Thinking about Amanda sitting across from me at the coffee shop, her desperation, her calculation, her willingness to burn Tyler the second things got difficult, thinking about how easy it would be to make them both understand what consequences felt like. I pulled out my phone, not to call Claire, to take photos. 3 shots of the BMW, license plate clearly visible, parking spot number visible, timestamp in the corner. Then I got in my Audi and drove away. And that evening I was at the gym when Claire texted, "Are you free? Need to talk." I replied, "Give me an hour. My place. I'll text you the address." 45 minutes later, I was standing outside a townhouse in an expensive neighborhood. 3 stories, brick facade, professional landscaping, the kind of place that costs 7 figures minimum. Claire answered on the first knock, still in work clothes, blazer and slacks, hair pulled back. She looked wired. "Come in," she said. I followed her inside. Hardwood floors, modern furniture, family photos on the mantel, Claire and Tyler and 2 kids smiling at a beach somewhere, before everything fell apart. "The kids are at my sister's," she said, reading my mind. "Tyler doesn't know I have company." "Where is he?" "Working late. Again? Or that's what he says. Could be with Amanda, for all I know." She led me to a home office. Computer on the desk, printer, filing cabinets. Looked like a lawyer's workspace. Organized, efficient, dangerous. "I need your help with something," she said. "What kind of help?" She pulled out a folder. Same one from the coffee shop. Same evidence, same timeline. "I'm filing for divorce. Monday morning. While Tyler's at his promotion meeting, I'm serving him papers. Making it official." "Okay. But I want to do more than that. I want to make sure he understands what he's losing, what his choices cost him." "How?" "The complaint. The HR complaint. I need you to file it, tonight. Before the weekend, so corporate gets it Monday morning before the announcement." "That's your plan? Divorce papers and an HR investigation on the same day?" "He destroyed our family. I'm destroying his career. Fair trade." "You think corporate will actually do something?" "I think they'll have to. Once the complaint is filed, it's on record. They can't ignore it. Even if they want to protect Tyler, they'll need to investigate, and that means delay, which means no promotion Monday, maybe no promotion ever." I sat down in the desk chair. This could backfire. Tyler could claim I'm harassing him, making false allegations. He could sue. Let him try. I have documentation, proof, evidence that would hold up in any court. Your evidence, not mine. I'll share it. With you. With HR. With whoever needs to see it. We're in this together now. Are we? Aren't we? I looked at the folder on the desk, at all the carefully organized proof of Tyler's affair, of his lies, of his willingness to destroy 2 marriages for a promotion and a woman who'd already proven she couldn't be trusted. "What do you get out of this?" I asked. "Satisfaction. Justice. The knowledge that he doesn't get to walk away clean while I'm left picking up the pieces. And Amanda? What about her? She gets caught in the crossfire too. HR investigates her, questions her colleagues, makes her workplace miserable. Good, she earned it. You're angrier than I thought. I'm a mother whose husband is abandoning her family for a woman who's already trying to get her ex-husband back. Yeah, I'm angry. Fair point." I stood up and walked to the window. Outside the sun was setting. Golden light on expensive houses. People living their lives, having dinner, watching television, not plotting revenge. "If I do this," I said slowly, "I need protection, legal protection, something that proves I filed the complaint in good faith, that I'm not just harassing Tyler." "I can draft that, notarize it, make it official. And you have to promise you won't drag me into your divorce. No depositions, no court appearances, no making me testify about what I know." "I can't promise that. If it goes to trial, the judge might subpoena you." "Then I'm not filing the complaint." She came closer, stood next to me at the window. "David, please, I need this. I need him to face consequences." "Why? Why does it matter so much? You're divorcing him anyway. You're getting out. You're moving on. Why isn't that enough?" "Because he needs to know he can't just discard people, can't just trade up whenever something better comes along, can't just walk away without paying a price. That's not justice. That's vengeance." "What's the difference?" Good question. I thought about Amanda's text, about Tyler's threats, about 8 years of marriage evaporating because I lost a job, about all the nights I'd spent wondering what I did wrong, what I could have done differently, about how none of it mattered because people like Amanda and Tyler only cared about themselves. Fine, I said. I'll file it, but on my terms, my timeline, my way. What terms? I file the complaint Sunday night. Not tonight, not tomorrow. Sunday. So it hits corporate Monday morning right before the promotion announcement, but gives me the weekend to change my mind if I need to. That's acceptable. And you don't tell anyone I'm doing this. Not your sister, not your lawyer, not anyone. This stays between us. Agreed. And if this goes wrong, if Tyler comes after me legally or professionally or any other way, you cover my legal fees. All of them. No questions asked. Deal. She extended her hand. I shook it. Thank you, she said quietly. You don't know what this means to me. I think I do. She walked me to the door. One more thing. What? Tyler told me he's taking Amanda to some company event tomorrow night. Charity gala, fancy hotel downtown. He's planning to introduce her to all the executives, show her off, make it clear they're together. So? So if you wanted to be there, to see it, to maybe remind them both that this isn't as settled as they think? Well, the event is open to the public. Anyone can buy a ticket. You want me to crash their date? I want you to do whatever you think is right. I'm just providing information. She closed the door. I stood on her porch for a minute thinking about charity galas and corporate events, and Tyler parading Amanda around like a trophy he'd won. Then I got in my car and drove home. Saturday morning, I bought a ticket to the charity gala, $500, tax deductible, benefits homeless youth programs. I would have bought it anyway, but the fact that it gave me access to Tyler and Amanda was just a bonus. The event was black tie, I didn't own a tuxedo, spent the afternoon shopping, found one that fit, bought new shoes, new watch. Might as well look the part. That evening, I got dressed and looked at myself in the mirror. Barely recognized the person staring back. Sharp, polished, expensive. Everything Amanda said she wanted when she left me. Except now I was this person, and she wasn't invited. The gala was at the Grand Harbor Hotel. Ballroom on the top floor, city views, open bar, live band playing jazz standards. Couple hundred people in formal wear drinking champagne and pretending they cared about homeless youth. I arrived at 8, checked my coat, got a drink, found a spot near the windows where I could watch the room. Tyler and Amanda arrived 20 minutes later. She looked stunning. Long red dress, hair up, diamond earrings I didn't recognize, probably a gift from Tyler, probably expensive. He looked exactly like what he was. Successful, confident, comfortable in his world of power and money and access. They worked the room together, shaking hands, making introductions, Tyler's hand on Amanda's back. Possessive, proud. Look what I have. I watched from across the room, sipping my whiskey, waiting. They didn't see me, too focused on their performance, too busy selling the image of the perfect couple. At 9:30, Tyler went to the bar, left Amanda talking to an older couple, corporate executives from the look of them. I walked over. Amanda, I said. She turned, saw me. Her face went white. David, how did you? Public event. Anyone can buy a ticket. You look nice. Thank you. You look good too. Thanks. Enjoying the evening? Yes. It's lovely. Very lovely. She glanced toward the bar. Tyler still hadn't noticed me. Does Tyler know you're here? Not yet, but the night's young. David, please, don't do this. Do what? Whatever you're planning, just let us have this one night. I'm not planning anything, just supporting a good cause. Homeless youth, very important. The older couple was watching us now, curious, sensing tension. Is everything all right? The woman asked. Fine, Amanda said quickly. David, this is Margaret and Robert Foster. They're on the board. Margaret, Robert, this is David, an old friend. Pleasure to meet you, I said, shaking their hands. I'm actually Amanda's husband, technically. We're separated, but not divorced yet. Margaret's eyes widened. Robert looked confused. Oh, Margaret said. I didn't realize you were married. Most people don't, I said. Amanda doesn't talk about me much these days. Tyler appeared then, 2 drinks in hand, saw me, froze. What the hell are you doing here? He asked. Supporting charity, same as you. You need to leave. It's a public event. I have as much right to be here as anyone. David, Amanda said quietly, please. Tyler handed her one of the drinks and stepped closer to me. If you're here to cause problems, I'm here to enjoy the evening. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's your issue, not mine. Margaret and Robert exchanged glances, started backing away. Smart people. This is harassment, Tyler said. I could have you removed. For what? Standing here? Talking to my wife? Ex-wife. Not yet. Still legally married. Which makes this... I gestured at Amanda, at Tyler, at the two of them together. Technically adultery, in case anyone was wondering. You son of a... Tyler, don't. Amanda grabbed his arm. He's trying to provoke you. Don't give him what he wants. What I want, I said, is for everyone here to know the truth. That Tyler Brennan started an affair with a married woman, that he's being promoted to vice president while violating company ethics policies, that he's standing here at a charity event pretending to be a good person while his wife sits at home with their kids, wondering where he is. Tyler's face turned red. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't I? Ask Amanda about Thursday, about coffee, about how she asked me to take her back because things with you weren't working out. Amanda's grip on Tyler's arm tightened. That's not... I was just what? Tyler looked at her. You met with him? When? Thursday, for coffee, to get closure. Closure. Tyler laughed, bitter, hard. Is that what we're calling it now? It wasn't like that. What was it like? Tyler, please, not here. But it was too late. People were watching now. The scene was unfolding. The perfect couple was cracking in real time. You told me he was harassing you, Tyler said. That you wanted nothing to do with him, that he was obsessed. I am obsessed, I said. With the truth, with making sure people like you don't get to rewrite history, with consequences. You want consequences? Fine. I'll have you arrested for stalking. Good luck with that. I'm at a public event. Bought a ticket, haven't touched you, haven't threatened you, just standing here having a conversation. Security appeared then. Two large men in suits. Event organizers must have noticed the commotion. Is there a problem here? One of them asked. This man is harassing us, Tyler said. I'm doing nothing of the sort, I said calmly. I'm an invited guest. These two are upset because I mentioned some uncomfortable truths about their relationship. Sir, we're going to need you to leave, the security guard said. Am I being removed from a charity event for talking to my own wife? If you're causing a disturbance, I'm not causing anything. I'm simply existing in the same space as these people. If that makes them uncomfortable, perhaps they should examine why. Amanda was crying now, mascara running, perfect image destroyed. Tyler pulled her toward the exit. Come on, we're leaving. That's probably smart, I called after them. Wouldn't want anyone else asking questions. They disappeared through the crowd. Security guards followed, making sure they actually left. The other guard looked at me. You should probably go too. Of course, I've done what I came here to do. I finished my whiskey, set the glass on a passing waiter's tray, walked calmly to the coat check, retrieved my jacket, left the hotel. Outside, the night air was cold and clean. I stood on the sidewalk watching cabs come and go, watching well-dressed people arrive for a party that no longer mattered. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. Tyler just called, furious, screaming about you showing up, said you humiliated them in front of executives. Thank you, I typed back. My pleasure. Another text. He's coming home. Says he needs space from Amanda. Says he can't trust her anymore. The plan is working. Good. Are you still filing the complaint tomorrow? I looked up at the hotel, at the lights glowing in the ballroom windows, at the place where I'd just burned Tyler and Amanda's relationship to the ground in front of the people who controlled Tyler's career. Yes. Tomorrow night. Midnight. Right on schedule. Perfect. I'll be waiting. I put my phone away and walked to where I'd parked the Audi. Started the engine, drove home. Tomorrow was Sunday. Day of rest. Last quiet day before everything changed. I planned to enjoy it. Sunday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls and 12 text messages, all from Amanda. I scrolled through the messages without opening them. Preview text was enough. You ruined everything. How could you? Tyler won't talk to me. This is all your fault. I hate you. Please call me. I'm sorry. We need to talk. David, please. I deleted them all and blocked her number. Again. Third time was the charm, maybe. Spent the morning running. 8 miles along the waterfront. Cold wind off the water. Gray sky threatening rain. Perfect weather for what I was about to do. Came home, showered, made breakfast, opened my laptop, pulled up the HR complaint form again, same one I'd looked at Thursday, same empty fields waiting to be filled. This time I didn't hesitate. Name, David Crawford. Relationship to company, spouse of employee complaint. Type, ethics violation, inappropriate workplace relationship details. I am filing this complaint to report an ongoing relationship between Tyler Brennan, Senior Director, Marketing, and Amanda Crawford, Marketing Manager. This relationship began approximately 6 months ago, while both parties were in supervisory and subordinate roles within the same division. Evidence includes documented hotel expenses charged to corporate accounts, calendar appointments marked as business meetings that were actually personal in nature, and multiple witness accounts of inappropriate behavior in the workplace. This relationship has violated company ethics policies and created a hostile work environment for other employees. I am requesting a formal investigation. I attached the screenshots Claire had given me, the hotel receipts, the email exchanges, the timeline. My finger hovered over submit. This was it, the point of no return. Once I clicked this button, the complaint went live. Corporate HR would see it Monday morning. Tyler's promotion would be delayed or canceled. Amanda's workplace would become a nightmare. Everything they'd built would come crashing down. And it was all because I clicked one button. I thought about Amanda at the coffee shop, about her desperation, about how she'd begged for another chance. Thought about Tyler at the park, about his threats, about how he'd told me to know my place. Thought about 8 years of marriage erased in a single text message, about hotel keycards and unnamed contacts and lies told in the dark. Thought about consequences. I clicked submit. Confirmation page appeared. Thank you for your submission. Your complaint has been received and will be reviewed by our Human Resources Department within 2 business days. Done. I closed the laptop and sat back. My phone rang. Claire. Did you do it? She asked. Just now. It's submitted. Thank God. I've been pacing all morning waiting to hear. Corporate will see it tomorrow. They'll probably start the investigation immediately. Good. Tyler's promotion meeting is at 10 a.m. If they see the complaint before that, they'll delay everything, put Tyler on administrative leave pending investigation. Standard procedure. He's going to lose his mind. Probably. Do you feel good about this? I thought about that question. Did I feel good, satisfied, vindicated? I feel like justice was served, I said finally. Whether that's good or bad, I'll figure out later. Fair enough. I'm filing divorce papers tomorrow morning, serving them to Tyler at his office. While he's dealing with the HR investigation, he'll also be dealing with the end of his marriage. You're really going for maximum impact. He destroyed my family. I'm returning the favor. What about the kids? They're with my sister. They'll stay there until things settle. I don't want them seeing this. That's smart. David? Yeah? Thank you for doing this, for helping me, for not being like Tyler. I'm not helping you. I'm helping myself. There's a difference. Whatever the reason. Thank you. She hung up. I sat in my apartment for another hour doing nothing, just sitting, thinking, processing. At 2 p.m., I went to the gym, worked out harder than necessary, ran until my legs burned, lifted until my arms shook, came home, showered again, ordered takeout, ate dinner watching a movie I didn't remember the title of. At 9 p.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? David, it's Patricia. My boss, calling on a Sunday night. This was either very good or very bad. Hey, Patricia, what's up? I need to talk to you about something that happened this weekend. Okay. I got a call from a colleague at another company, someone I trust. She told me there was an incident at a charity event last night, an incident involving you. My stomach dropped. What kind of incident? Apparently you confronted your ex-wife and her boyfriend, made some accusations, created a scene in front of company executives. That's not exactly what happened. Then tell me what did happen. I took a breath, chose my words carefully. I attended a charity event, ran into my wife and her boyfriend. We had a brief conversation. Things got tense. I left. That's all. David, I need you to be straight with me. Is there something going on that I should know about? Something that might affect your work here? No. My personal life is separate from my professional life. Always has been. I hope that's true, because if this turns into something bigger, if there are legal issues or harassment claims or anything that reflects badly on Titan Solutions, I need to know about it now. There won't be any legal issues. I haven't done anything wrong. Good, because you're a valuable employee. I'd hate to see your personal situation affect your career. It won't, I promise. Okay, I'm trusting you on this. Don't make me regret it. You won't. She hung up. I sat there holding my phone and trying to figure out who had called Patricia. who had seen the incident at the gala and decided to report it, who wanted to make sure I faced consequences too. Could have been Tyler, could have been one of the executives, could have been anyone. Didn't matter. The damage was done. Patricia was watching me now, waiting for me to slip up. One wrong move, and my job could disappear just as fast as Tyler's promotion. I opened my laptop and checked my email. Nothing from corporate HR, nothing from anyone. The complaint was in the system, but nobody had acknowledged it yet. Monday morning would be interesting. I went to bed early, didn't sleep well, kept waking up every hour checking my phone. Nothing, no messages, no calls, no emergency alerts that everything had exploded. At 6 a.m., I gave up on sleep, got dressed, drove to the office. The building was mostly empty, too early for regular staff, just security and custodians and people like me who couldn't stay away. I went to my office and opened my laptop. Checked email again, one new message from corporate HR at Amanda's company. Subject line, complaint received, investigation initiated. I opened it. Dear Mr. Crawford, thank you for submitting your complaint regarding workplace conduct. We take all allegations of policy violations seriously and have initiated a formal investigation into the matters you described. All parties mentioned in your complaint will be interviewed as part of this process. Please be available for follow-up questions if needed. We appreciate your cooperation and discretion during this investigation. Regards, Corporate Human Resources. It was happening. Tyler's Monday morning just got a lot more complicated. I closed the email and tried to focus on work. Pulled up the Meridian project files, reviewed technical specifications, made notes for tomorrow's presentation. At 8 a.m., my phone buzzed. Text from Claire. HR just called Tyler, told him to report to corporate office instead of his regular location. He's panicking, asking me what's going on. I told him I have no idea. I replied, good. Let him panic. Divorce papers get served at 9. His lawyer will meet him at corporate. This is really happening. Yes, it is. I'm nervous. Don't be. You're doing the right thing. Am I? Or am I just angry and vindictive and destroying everything because I can't handle rejection? Does it matter? I don't know anymore. I put my phone down. Claire was having second thoughts. Natural, normal, expected. But it was too late for second thoughts. The wheels were in motion. The investigation was launched. The divorce papers were filed. Tyler's perfect life was about to implode. At 9:15, my phone rang again. Patricia. David. My office. Now. On my way. I walked down the hall trying to figure out what this was about. Had Tyler called her? Had corporate somehow connected me to the complaint? Patricia was waiting at her desk, face serious. No smile, bad sign. Sit down, she said. I sat. I just got off the phone with our legal team. Apparently there's been a complaint filed at Amanda's company. A complaint that mentions your name. Okay. Did you file this complaint? Lying now would be stupid. Yes. Why? Because Tyler Brennan threatened me. Because he and Amanda violated company ethics policies. Because someone needed to hold them accountable. And you thought that someone should be you. Yes. She leaned back, studied me. David, I'm going to be very direct with you. This puts me in a difficult position. Titan Solutions has business relationships with Amanda's company. If this complaint causes problems for them, it could affect our contracts. I didn't think about that. Clearly, so now I need you to think about it. Think about whether you filing this complaint was worth potentially damaging those relationships. With all due respect, Patricia, my personal situation shouldn't affect Titan's business dealings. It shouldn't, but it might, and that's a problem. What do you want me to do? I want you to stay out of this. Let their HR handle it. Don't make any more complaints. Don't show up at any more events. Don't do anything that could be construed as harassment or retaliation. I won't. Good. Because if this blows up, if Tyler files a counter-complaint or if their company decides to make an issue of this, I can't protect you. I understand. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're willing to risk your career to get revenge on your ex-wife. This isn't revenge. This is accountability. Call it whatever you want. Just make sure it's worth it. She dismissed me. I went back to my office and closed the door. My phone was blowing up. Text from Claire. Tyler just got served divorce papers. In the middle of the HR meeting, he's losing it, screaming, threatening to sue everyone. This is insane. Another text. HR is putting him on administrative leave, effective immediately. Promotion is canceled. They're launching a full investigation. It worked, David. It actually worked. Another text. Amanda just called me, crying, saying I ruined her life, that I destroyed everything. I told her she destroyed her own life. Then I hung up. I read the messages and felt nothing, no satisfaction, no guilt, no emotion at all, just emptiness. I'd done what I set out to do. Tyler was facing consequences. Amanda was facing consequences. Claire was getting her divorce. Everything was working exactly as planned. So why didn't it feel better? My office phone rang. Internal line. David, conference room, emergency meeting. I went to the conference room. Patricia was there with 3 other executives I didn't recognize. Legal team, probably. Sit, Patricia said. I sat. One of the lawyers spoke first. Mr. Crawford, we've been reviewing the situation with your complaint against Tyler Brennan. We need to understand the full scope of what's happening here. I filed a legitimate complaint about workplace misconduct. That's all. That's not all. You also attended a company event where you confronted Mr. Brennan and your wife. You made public statements about their relationship. You created a scene in front of executives from multiple companies, including some of our clients. I attended a public charity event. If Tyler and Amanda were uncomfortable seeing me there, that's their problem. Mr. Crawford, we need you to understand something. Titan Solutions takes workplace conduct very seriously, including conduct that happens outside the office but affects our business relationships. What are you saying? We're saying that if your actions, your complaint, your public confrontations, anything else, causes problems for Titan Solutions, we will take appropriate action. What kind of action? That depends on the situation, but it could include termination. The room went cold. You're threatening to fire me because I filed a legitimate complaint about someone else's misconduct? We're telling you that your employment here is contingent on you conducting yourself professionally, in all situations, public and private. I understand. Good. Then we're done here. I stood up and walked out. Went back to my office, sat at my desk. My hands were shaking again, not from fear, from anger. They were threatening me, actually threatening to fire me because I'd made things uncomfortable for Tyler, because their business relationships mattered more than ethics or accountability or truth. I pulled out my phone, opened my text thread with Claire. They're threatening to fire me. Her reply came fast. What? Who is? Titan, my company. Said if Tyler causes problems for their business relationships, I'm done. That's illegal. They can't retaliate against you for filing a complaint. They're not calling it retaliation. They're calling it professional conduct. Do you want me to help? I can review your employment contract, find leverage. I stared at her message, at the offer of help, at the lawyer who dragged me into this mess now offering to pull me back out. No, I'll handle it. Are you sure? Yes. I put my phone away and looked around my office, at the view, at the desk with my name on it, at everything I'd worked for, everything I might lose because I'd decided consequences mattered more than comfort. Was it worth it? I didn't know yet, but I was about to find out. Monday afternoon, I was packing up my office, just in case, when my desk phone rang. Internal line. Patricia. David, you have a visitor in the lobby. Says it's urgent. Who is it? Amanda Crawford. I closed my eyes. Took a breath. Tell her I'm not available. She says she'll wait as long as it takes. Then she'll be waiting a long time. David, just talk to her. Get this handled. The legal team is already on edge. We don't need more drama today. I hung up and sat there for a full minute. Amanda showing up at my workplace. Again, after everything that had happened over the weekend, after the gala, after the HR complaint, after Tyler's world had imploded in spectacular fashion. Either she was desperate or stupid or both. Probably both. I saved my work, closed my laptop, straightened my tie, took the elevator down to the lobby. She was sitting on one of the leather couches near reception. Red eyes, no makeup, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. Wearing jeans and a sweatshirt I recognized from years ago, one of mine she'd claimed after a camping trip. Not the polished version of Amanda I'd seen at the gala. The broken version. The receptionist was watching us. Security guard by the door had his hand near his radio. They were ready to intervene if this turned into a scene. I walked over slowly. Kept my distance. Professional space between us. Hey, she said when she saw me. Voice hoarse, like she'd been crying for hours. You need to leave. I will, after we talk. There's nothing to talk about. Yes, there is. Tyler's gone. The promotion's gone. My job is basically gone. HR has me on probation pending their investigation. Everything fell apart in 24 hours. Everything. She stood up, unsteady on her feet. I wondered if she'd slept at all. That's not my problem, I said. You did this. You filed that complaint. You showed up at the gala. You destroyed everything we were building. I reported ethics violations. That's all. Stop lying to yourself, David. You did it for revenge. Just admit it. At least have the courage to admit what you did. The receptionist was definitely listening now, pretending to type, but her fingers weren't moving on the keyboard. I did it because Tyler threatened me, I said quietly. Because you both acted like I didn't matter, like I was nothing. Because consequences exist in the real world. That's not revenge. That's accountability. Accountability? She laughed, bitter, broken. You want to talk about accountability? I might lose my job, David. My entire career. Everything I've worked for since college. Gone. Because you couldn't let go. I let go months ago. When you sent that text. When you chose Tyler over 8 years of marriage. I let go right then. Then why did you do this? Why file the complaint? Why show up at the gala? Why keep pushing? Because Tyler came to me. Threatened me in a parking garage. Told me to know my place. Warned me to stay away from you. He made it personal, so I made it official. You made it vindictive. Good. Maybe you'll understand how I felt when you destroyed our marriage over a job loss. She came closer. The security guard shifted, ready to move if needed. That's different, Amanda said. Is it? I made a mistake. I know that now. I've admitted it. I've apologized. But ruining my life doesn't fix yours. I'm not ruining your life. I'm just refusing to protect you from the results of your choices. Same thing. No, it's not. You chose Tyler. You chose to have an affair. You chose to violate company policies. I just made sure people knew about it. The receptionist was definitely listening now, definitely judging. Good. Let her hear this. Let everyone hear what Amanda had done. Can we go somewhere private? Amanda asked, looking around, noticing the audience. Please? No. David, whatever you came here to say, you can say it right here or not at all. She looked around again, at the receptionist, at the security guard by the door, at the lobby cameras recording everything, at the other employees coming and going, glancing at us, sensing drama. Fine, she said, taking a breath, composing herself. I came to ask you to withdraw the complaint. Call HR and tell them it was a mistake, that you were angry and not thinking clearly, that you regret filing it. Why would I do that? Because if you don't, Tyler's going to sue you. For defamation, for harassment, for interfering with his career. His lawyer already sent me the paperwork this morning. He's serious, David. He's got nothing left to lose now. Let him sue. I have evidence. Documentation. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation. His lawyer says you filed the complaint in bad faith, that you were trying to sabotage his promotion specifically, that none of your allegations can be proven beyond the evidence Claire illegally obtained. Then why did HR put him on administrative leave? She didn't answer, just looked down at her hands. They found something, I said, during their investigation. Something that confirmed what I reported. Emails, calendar entries, hotel charges on his corporate card. That's why Tyler's in trouble. Not because of me, because of what he actually did. You don't understand. Tyler's dangerous right now. He's lost everything. His promotion, his marriage, his reputation. Men like that don't just accept defeat. They fight back. They lash out. They make people pay. Good. I'm ready. Are you? Because he knows where you work, where you live. He's been watching you, David, following you. He's not stable. He's talking about making you pay, about destroying you the way you destroyed him. Is that a threat? It's a warning from someone who actually cares what happens to you. You don't care about me. You care about protecting Tyler, protecting your job, protecting yourself from the consequences of your choices. That's not fair. Neither is showing up at my workplace and asking me to lie to protect the man you cheated on me with. I'm not asking you to lie. I'm asking you to be the bigger person, to end this before it gets worse, before someone actually gets hurt. It's already worse, and I didn't make it that way. You and Tyler did. Every choice, every lie, every time you chose him over me. You built this. Now you get to live in it. She pulled out her phone, hands shaking, scrolled through her messages, showed me a screenshot, text from Tyler to her from this morning, sent at 6 a.m. If David doesn't withdraw that complaint, I will make his life a living nightmare. Tell him that. Make sure he understands. I have nothing left to lose. Nothing. That makes me dangerous. I read it twice, looked at the timestamp, this morning, after Tyler had already been put on administrative leave, after his world had already collapsed. You're showing me this why? I asked. Because I'm scared. Tyler's not thinking straight. He's talking about doing things, extreme things, things that can't be undone. Like what? Showing up at my workplace and threatening me? He already did that, remember? In that parking garage. That's why I filed the complaint in the first place. This is different. He's desperate now, cornered, and desperate people do desperate things. Then maybe Tyler should have thought about consequences before he started an affair with my wife. Ex-wife. We're getting divorced, remember? Only because Tyler's life fell apart. If everything was still perfect, you'd still be planning your move to New York together, still sending me texts about second chances when you needed a backup plan. She put her phone away, blinked back tears. I don't know why I thought you'd listen. You've changed, David. You're cold now, mean, calculating. This isn't who you are. No, this is exactly who I am. You just never paid attention before. Too busy looking at what I could provide, what I represented, never looked at the actual person. I'm asking you one last time. Please withdraw the complaint. Let Tyler keep whatever's left of his career. Let me keep my job. End this. No. Then you're making a mistake. A big one. I've made lots of mistakes. Marrying you was probably the biggest. This isn't one of them. She stood there for another moment, looking at me like she was seeing a stranger. Maybe she was. Maybe I'd always been a stranger and she'd just never noticed. Tyler's wife called me this morning, she said quietly. Claire, she told me you two have been working together, planning this, that you've been coordinating attacks on Tyler's career. Attacks. Interesting word choice. She said you're the one who encouraged me to text you, who set me up at the coffee shop, who made sure Tyler saw the messages so he'd doubt me, so he'd question everything. Did she? Were you? Were you playing me this whole time? I thought about that question, about Claire's folder of evidence, about the charity gala, about the coffee shop where I'd planted seeds of doubt, about every careful move I'd made since Tyler appeared in that parking garage, about the plan that had worked exactly as intended. Yeah, I said. I was. Her face changed, understanding replacing confusion, hurt replacing hope. You used me. You used me first. For 8 years, I was your safety net, your backup plan, your convenient husband who paid half the bills and didn't ask too many questions. So yeah, when you threw me away, I decided to use you back. Fair trade. That's sick. That's fair. No, fair would have been just walking away, moving on, finding someone new. This is something else. This is calculated, cruel. You want to talk about cruel? You sent me a text message ending our marriage. One text. After 8 years, while I was sitting in my car after getting laid off. That's cruel, Amanda. What I did was just strategic. She turned and walked toward the door. Stopped. Looked back. I hope you're happy, she said. I hope destroying us was worth it. I didn't destroy us. You did that yourself. I just made sure everyone else knew about it. She left without another word. The glass doors closed behind her. The receptionist went back to actual typing. The security guard relaxed. The lobby returned to normal. I stood there for another minute, then went back upstairs. Patricia was waiting by my office. Is it handled? She asked. It's handled. Good, because the legal team wants another meeting tomorrow morning. They're concerned about Tyler's threats, concerned about potential liability for Titan if this situation escalates further. Tyler can threaten all he wants. He can't do anything to me. Are you sure about that? Positive. I wasn't positive, but I sounded confident, and sometimes that's enough. Sometimes confidence is the only weapon you have. Patricia studied my face. This is personal for you. I get that, but it's becoming professional for us. For Titan. We have contracts with Amanda's company, business relationships that could be damaged if this turns into a larger legal battle. I understand. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're willing to risk your career to get revenge on your ex-wife and her boyfriend. This isn't revenge. This is accountability. There's a difference. Is there? Because it looks the same from the outside. She walked away. I went into my office and closed the door, sat at my desk, stared at the wall. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. This is Tyler. We need to talk. Just you and me, face to face. Tonight. I stared at the message for a long time. That evening, I met Claire at a coffee shop across town. Different place, neutral territory, somewhere neither Tyler nor Amanda would think to look, She was already there, looking exhausted. Dark circles under her eyes. Coffee cup in front of her, but untouched. "Thanks for coming," she said as I slid into the booth. "What's this about?" "Tyler came home last night. Late. Drunk. Started accusing me of following him, of spying on him, of working with you to destroy his career. Said someone had been feeding me information, that we'd conspired against him." "Did you tell him it was me?" "I told him I had my own sources, that I didn't need anyone feeding me anything. He didn't believe me, started throwing things, breaking dishes, screaming. The bartender came over, I ordered a whiskey. He disappeared." "Tyler's paranoid now," Claire continued. "Thinks I'm tracking his phone, monitoring his emails, watching his every move. He changed all his passwords, started leaving his phone in the car when he comes home. Barely speaks to the kids. Good, let him be paranoid. It gets better. He and Amanda had a fight this morning, in the parking garage at work. I have a friend who works in their building. She saw the whole thing, said it was brutal." "What were they fighting about?" "You. Apparently Amanda's been texting you. Tyler didn't know about it. Got angry when he found out. Accused her of keeping options open, of not being fully committed to him, of using him as a stepping stone to something better." I smiled. The seeds were growing faster than I'd expected, choking out everything around them. "That's interesting," I said. "It's more than interesting. It's working. Whatever you said to him at the park, whatever you planted in his head, it got in there deep, made him question everything. Amanda, the affair, the promotion, his entire life." The bartender brought my whiskey. I took a long drink. "I'm meeting Amanda tomorrow," I said. Claire's eyes widened. "You're what?" "She asked to meet. Coffee. Public place. Says she wants to talk about ending this." "About what?" "Getting back together. Fixing our marriage. The usual manipulation." "You're not seriously considering it?" "No. But I want to hear what she has to say. Want to see how desperate she's gotten." "Why?" "Information. The more I know about where her head is, the better I can navigate what comes next." "You're playing both sides." "I'm protecting myself." "By meeting with your ex-wife while her boyfriend spirals into paranoia." "Exactly." Claire leaned back and studied me. "You're smarter than I gave you credit for." "Thanks, I think." "Tyler's promotion announcement is next week, Monday morning. Corporate meeting. Big deal. If something were to happen between now and then, something significant, he'd lose everything permanently." "Like what?" "Like evidence of an affair with a subordinate. Like proof he's been violating company ethics policies for months. Like documentation showing he used company resources for personal relationships." "You have that documentation?" "I have some of it. Emails sent from his work account to Amanda, hotel charges on his corporate card, calendar appointments marked as client meetings that were actually lunch dates, dinner reservations, wine purchases. That's not enough. It could be, if the right person saw it, if the right complaint was filed with HR, if someone took it seriously enough to investigate thoroughly." I sipped my whiskey. "You want me to file the complaint. I want you to consider it." "Why would I do that?" "Because Tyler threatened you, told you to stay away from Amanda, tried to intimidate you in that parking garage. That's harassment. That's worth reporting." "To who?" "HR at a company I don't work for." "To Amanda's HR, as her spouse. You have standing. You can file a complaint about an inappropriate workplace relationship, about a senior director dating someone in his department." "Amanda doesn't report to Tyler directly." "No, but they work in the same division, same floor, same management chain. There's a clear power dynamic. Corporate policy is very specific about relationships in the same reporting structure." "You've done your research." "Like I said, I'm thorough. I'm a lawyer. This is what I do." I finished my whiskey, signaled the bartender for another. "What happens if I file this complaint?" "HR investigates, interviews witnesses, reviews documentation, probably suspends Tyler pending the outcome. Promotion gets put on hold, maybe permanently. Maybe he loses his job entirely depending on what they find." "And Amanda?" "Depends on what the investigation finds. Worst case, she gets a written warning. More likely nothing happens to her at all since she's not in a position of power. But her reputation takes a hit. Her colleagues know, the whispers start, her career stalls. So Tyler takes the fall. Tyler takes responsibility for his choices. That's not the same thing as taking the fall." The bartender brought my second whiskey. I didn't touch it, just watched the ice melt slowly. "I need to think about it," I said. "Don't think too long. The promotion announcement is Monday. After that, the window closes. Tyler gets the VP title and moves to New York and takes Amanda with him and starts over clean. All the evidence becomes historical, meaningless. I understand. Good. She stood up and dropped cash on the table. Let me know what you decide. Soon. She left. I sat there for another hour nursing the second whiskey and thinking about consequences and timing and how easy it would be to make one phone call that would change everything. When I got home, there was another text from Tyler. Harbor Park, 11 p.m. tonight, near the old pier, just you and me. We settle this. I read it 3 times. Tyler wanted a confrontation, wanted to handle this man to man, wanted to prove something to himself or to me or to whoever he thought was watching. I typed back, I'll be there. His response came immediately. Come alone, no lawyers, no witnesses, just talk. Fine. I put my phone down and looked around my apartment, at the furniture I'd bought, at the life I'd built, at everything I'd gained since Amanda left, and I wondered if it was all about to come crashing down. At 10:30, I changed into dark clothes, jeans, black jacket, nothing Tyler could use to grab me if things got physical, put my phone in my pocket, made sure it was fully charged, location services on. If Tyler tried something stupid, at least there'd be a record. Drove to Harbor Park. The park was empty, cold night, no moon, just streetlights and shadows and the sound of water against the pier. I parked near the entrance, got out, walked toward the old pier where Tyler said he'd be waiting. He was there, standing at the end of the wooden structure, hands in his pockets, looking out at the water like he was contemplating jumping. Maybe he was. I walked up behind him slowly, making noise so he'd hear me coming. You wanted to talk? I said. He didn't turn around. Yeah, I did. So talk. You destroyed my life, David. You know that, right? You destroyed your own life. I just documented it. That's not how I see it. I don't care how you see it. He turned around then. His face was different, harder, older, like he'd aged 5 years in 2 days. Stubble on his jaw, red eyes, clothes wrinkled like he'd slept in them. The promotion's gone, he said. The job in New York, the apartment, the salary, the future, everything I worked for, everything I sacrificed for. Gone. Because you violated ethics policies. Because you filed a complaint based on information Claire gave you, information she got illegally by hacking my accounts. You two coordinated this, planned it, executed it perfectly. If by coordinated you mean we both independently realized you and Amanda were having an affair and decided to report it, then sure, we coordinated. Don't play games with me. Claire admitted everything. She told me you two have been meeting, planning, working together to take me down piece by piece. She's divorcing you, Tyler. Of course she wants you held accountable. And you? What's your excuse? You threatened me. Told me to stay away from Amanda. Tried to intimidate me in a parking garage. That's harassment. I reported it. You reported it with evidence Claire provided, evidence she obtained through illegal surveillance of my personal accounts. She's a lawyer. She knows how to gather evidence legally. She hacked my cloud account, accessed my emails without permission, tracked my location using our shared family account. That's illegal. Did she? Or did she just use accounts you foolishly shared with her and never bothered to secure properly when your marriage started falling apart? He stepped closer. Close enough I could smell the alcohol on his breath. Whiskey, lots of it. You think you're so smart, he said, voice low and dangerous. Think you won. Think you got justice. But you didn't win anything. You just made yourself a target. Is that another threat? It's a fact. Amanda's HR investigation turned up some interesting things about you too, about your behavior and your actions. Like what? Like the fact that you've been stalking us, showing up at events uninvited, taking pictures, following Amanda to her workplace, harassing her with texts and calls. I went to her office once to ask her to stop coming to mine. That's not what her colleagues say. They say you've been calling her office repeatedly, leaving messages, making her life miserable, creating a hostile environment. That's a lie. Is it? Or is it just a different interpretation of the same events? Perspective matters, David. And from where corporate HR is sitting, you look like a scorned husband who can't let go, who's harassing his ex and her new boyfriend, who's using false complaints to damage their careers. I felt my jaw tighten, felt my hands ball into fists. What do you want, Tyler? I want you to know that you might have won the battle, but you didn't win the war. Amanda and I are done. My promotion's gone. But you're going down too. For what? For harassment. For filing a false complaint. For conspiracy with Claire to defame me. My lawyer's building a case. When it's done, you'll lose your job. your reputation, your fancy new apartment, everything. Good luck with that. I don't need luck. I have evidence. I have witnesses. I have a paper trail showing exactly what you and Claire did, how you coordinated, how you manipulated situations, how you used Amanda to create doubt between us. Then take it to court. See what happens. I will. But first I wanted to give you a chance. One chance. A chance to what? Withdraw the complaint. Admit you made a mistake. Sign a statement saying you and Claire conspired against me out of anger and jealousy. Do that, and I'll drop the lawsuit. We all move on with our lives. I laughed. Couldn't help it. You want me to lie, to say I made everything up, so you can keep your reputation intact and maybe salvage something from this mess. I want you to tell the truth, that this was revenge, not justice. The truth is you had an affair with my wife, violated company policies, got caught, lost your promotion. Those are all facts. No lies, no conspiracy. The truth is you manipulated the situation to maximize damage. You're not innocent here, David. You're just as guilty as anyone. Maybe, but I can live with that. Can you? His fist came out of nowhere, caught me in the jaw, hard. Sharp pain exploded through my face. I stumbled back, tasted blood. My vision blurred for a second. Tyler came at me again, swinging wild. His second punch hit my shoulder, heavy, angry, desperate. I shoved him back, hard. He tripped over his own feet, fell against the pier railing. The old wood groaned under his weight. That's how you want to handle this? I asked, wiping blood from my lip. Violence? I want you to hurt the way I'm hurting. Mission accomplished. You got one good hit. Feel better now? No. Then go home, Tyler. Go wherever you're staying. Sleep it off. Wake up tomorrow and start rebuilding whatever's left of your life. There's nothing left. Don't you understand? Everything's gone. My career, my marriage, my family. Amanda won't even return my calls. Claire's filing for divorce. My kids won't talk to me. I'm staying in a motel because I can't afford anything else with the legal fees piling up. That's your fault, not mine. You could have just let it go, moved on, found someone new, started over. But you had to destroy everything, had to make sure everyone suffered. I didn't destroy anything. I just stopped protecting you from consequences. He stood there swaying slightly, drunk, broken, defeated. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. I loved her, he said quietly. Amanda. I actually loved her. This wasn't just about the affair. I was going to leave Claire anyway. Was planning to do it right, tell the kids, make it clean. But Amanda was special. Made me feel alive again. And now? Now she's gone. Realized I'm not the successful guy she thought I was. Realized I can't give her the life she wanted. So she's moving on. Already talking about other opportunities, other cities, other men, probably. That's who she is, Tyler. She moves on when things get hard. You should have figured that out before you destroyed your marriage for her. You knew. You knew she'd do this. That's why you planted those seeds of doubt. Made me question her loyalty. Made me paranoid. I didn't make you do anything. I just told you the truth. That Amanda was keeping her options open, that she'd asked me to take her back. You chose not to believe it. That's on you. He turned back toward the water, stood there for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice was hollow. I used to have everything. Great job, beautiful wife, 2 kids, nice house, respect. Now I have nothing, less than nothing. Debt, legal problems, a criminal record if Claire presses charges for breaking into her house. Wait. What? You broke into Claire's house? Last night. I was trying to get some of my stuff, some documents I needed. She changed the locks. I broke a window to get in. She called the police. I got arrested. You got arrested? Spent 4 hours in a holding cell before my lawyer bailed me out. Now I've got charges pending, breaking and entering, vandalism. Possibly more, depending on what Claire tells them. I stared at him. You're insane. No, I'm desperate. There's a difference. No, there isn't. He pulled something from his pocket. For a second, I thought it was a weapon. My body tensed, ready to run or fight. It was just his phone. I'm sending you something, he said, typing with shaking fingers. Evidence. Proof that you and Claire coordinated, that you planned this together, that you manipulated everyone. My phone buzzed. I pulled it out, opened the message, screenshots, text conversations between me and Claire, emails, meeting notes, everything we'd discussed, everything we'd planned. Where did you get these? I asked. I hacked Claire's cloud backup, same way she hacked mine. Turnabout's fair play, right? So now you're admitting to illegal hacking. I'm admitting I have proof. Proof I'm taking to corporate HR tomorrow. Proof I'm showing to my lawyer. Proof that destroys both of your credibility. You can't use illegally obtained evidence. Watch me. I'm going down, but I'm taking you with me. He walked past me toward the parking lot, stopped, looked back. You should have just let me win, David. Should have walked away. Now we both lose. He left. I stood on that pier for another 10 minutes, a jaw throbbing, mind racing, wondering what I'd just done, wondering if Tyler was right, if we'd both lose in the end. My phone rang. Claire. David, are you okay? Tyler just called me, said he hit you, that you provoked him, that you're planning to press charges. I am pressing charges. He committed assault. I know. I'm not defending him. I'm just worried about what happens next. He's threatening to expose everything, all the coordination between us, the evidence I gave you, the way we planned this. So, we didn't do anything illegal. We manipulated the situation. We used Amanda. We set Tyler up. We held him accountable. Stop second-guessing it. I can't, because Tyler just filed a counter-complaint with Amanda's HR against both of us, claiming harassment, claiming conspiracy, claiming defamation using illegally obtained evidence. On what grounds? On the grounds that we worked together to destroy his career using evidence I obtained by accessing his accounts after our separation became official. His lawyer says that's unauthorized access, says any evidence obtained after the separation is inadmissible and possibly criminal. But you gave me that evidence before the separation. Can we prove that? Do we have timestamps, documentation showing when I accessed what and when I shared it with you? I thought about the folder, the printouts, the screenshots. Some of it, not all. Then we have a problem, a big one. No, you have a problem. I just used information someone gave me. If that information was obtained illegally, that's on you, not me. Silence on the other end. Claire? I can't believe you just said that. I'm being realistic. Tyler's trying to divide us, make us turn on each other, destroy whatever alliance we built. If we let him do that, we both lose. So what do you suggest? I suggest you talk to your lawyer. Figure out exactly what evidence is clean and what's not. Then we only reference the clean evidence going forward. Let the rest disappear. That's not how investigations work. Once evidence is submitted, it's part of the record. Can't just make it disappear. Then Tyler's complaint gets investigated and they find out the evidence was legitimate. Problem solved. Unless they find out it wasn't. Unless Tyler proves I hacked his accounts after the separation and gave you false or tainted information. Then we both get buried, legally and professionally. That won't happen. How do you know? Because Tyler's desperate. Desperate people make mistakes. And when he makes his next mistake, we'll be ready. I hung up and stood there thinking about mistakes and evidence and how quickly things could fall apart when everyone started playing dirty. My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. Tyler's going crazy. He's filing complaints against everyone. You, Claire, me, even people at work who had nothing to do with this. Please make it stop. Please. I typed back. I can't make Tyler do anything. He's an adult. He makes his own choices. You could withdraw your complaint. Tell HR it was all a mistake. Give him a chance to rebuild his life. Why would I do that? Because this is destroying everyone. Not just Tyler, me, Claire, you, your job. Everyone involved is getting hurt. Then maybe everyone should have thought about consequences before they started lying and cheating and threatening people. I'm scared, David. Tyler's not stable. He's making threats, talking about doing things that can't be undone. Things that will hurt people, like what? I don't know. He won't tell me. Just keeps saying he's going to make sure we all pay. That he's going to end this his way, on his terms. I read that message 3 times. Tyler's going to end this his way. What did that mean? I called Claire back. Have you heard from Tyler since he left the pier? Not since earlier. Why? Amanda just texted me. Says Tyler's making threats. Talking about ending things his way, on his terms? What does that mean? I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. It sounds dangerous. Should we be worried? Should I call the police? I don't know. Maybe. Just keep your doors locked. Stay aware of your surroundings. Don't go anywhere alone. You're scaring me, David. Good. Be scared. Be careful. Tyler's unpredictable right now. He's got nothing left to lose. That makes him dangerous. Really dangerous. I hung up and drove home. Double-checked my locks. Closed all the blinds. Sat in my apartment waiting for something to happen. At 9 p.m., my phone rang. Police department. Is this David Crawford? Yes. This is Detective Martinez. I'm calling about Tyler Brennan. We understand you filed a complaint about an assault earlier today? I was planning to. Tomorrow morning. You won't need to. Mr. Brennan's been arrested. My heart stopped. For what? Breaking and entering, vandalism, making threats. He broke into his ex-wife's house tonight around 8 p.m., destroyed property, smashed furniture, broke windows, threatened her. She called 911. We picked him up an hour ago. He's in custody now. Is Claire okay? She's shaken, but physically fine. Mr. Brennan didn't make physical contact with her, just destroyed things, made verbal threats about making everyone pay, said he was going to end this situation. What kind of threats? Said he was going to make everyone who ruined his life pay for what they did. Said nobody was going to walk away clean. We're holding him on multiple charges. He'll probably be arraigned tomorrow morning. Thank you for letting me know. Mr. Brennan mentioned your name during booking, multiple times. Said you were responsible for everything, that you ruined his life, that you need to pay. We wanted to make sure you were aware he might try to contact you or take action against you. I appreciate that. I'll be careful. Stay safe, Mr. Crawford, and if Mr. Brennan contacts you in any way, let us know immediately. He hung up. I sat there processing what I'd just heard. Tyler had snapped. Completely. Gone to Claire's house, destroyed her property, made threats, got himself arrested. His way of ending things was self-destruction, taking everyone down with him. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. Tyler's in custody. I'm filing a restraining order first thing tomorrow morning. This is over. Finally over. I replied, Are you okay? Do you need anything? No, but I'm scared. The police said Tyler was talking about you, about making you pay. Please be careful. I will. You too. David? Yeah? We did this. We pushed him over the edge. This is our fault. No. Tyler did this to himself. We just stopped enabling his behavior, stopped protecting him from consequences. That's what I keep telling myself. But it doesn't make me feel better. Doesn't make the fear go away. It will, eventually. I hope you're right. I put my phone down and sat there in the dark thinking about Tyler in a holding cell, about Claire's destroyed house, about Amanda moving to another city, about how everything had spiraled so far beyond what any of us intended, and I wondered if revenge was ever really worth it, or if it just created more wreckage for everyone involved. Wednesday morning started with silence. No texts from Amanda, no calls from Tyler, no emergencies from Patricia, just quiet. I went to work, attended meetings, reviewed projects, did my job like a normal person living a normal life. At lunch, Patricia stopped by my office, closed the door behind her. Heard about Tyler Brennan, she said. Yeah. He's in custody, broke into his ex-wife's house, made threats, destroyed property, facing multiple charges. I heard. That means his lawsuit against you is probably finished. Hard to claim someone's harassing you when you're the one getting arrested for breaking and entering and making threats. Probably. So this is over, right? The drama, the complaints, the legal threats, all of it. It's over. Good, because you're too valuable to lose over something like this. But David, you need to be more careful going forward. This situation could have ended very differently, very badly. I know. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you got lucky, that Tyler imploded before he could really damage you. Next time you might not be so fortunate. There won't be a next time. I hope not, for your sake. She left. I sat at my desk and thought about what over meant. Tyler was in custody, career destroyed, marriage ended, facing criminal charges that would follow him forever. Amanda's workplace was investigating her, colleagues avoiding her, career damaged maybe beyond repair, planning to leave town, start over somewhere else where nobody knew what she'd done. Claire was traumatized, house destroyed, kids confused and scared, marriage officially over, filing for restraining orders, starting from zero with 2 children and a mountain of legal fees. And me? I had my job, my apartment, my car, my life mostly intact, but I also had a bruised jaw and an empty apartment and nobody to share any of it with. Was that winning? My phone buzzed. Text from Amanda. Tyler's lawyer contacted me. They're dropping all complaints against you and Claire. Tyler's taking responsibility for everything. Says he wants to end this before it gets worse. Good. I'm sorry, David, for all of it. For what I did, for what I caused, for dragging you into this nightmare. I stared at that message. Amanda was apologizing. Actually apologizing. Not because she wanted something, not because she was angling for reconciliation, just apologizing. I typed, "I appreciate that. I'm leaving the company, found a job in Seattle. Starting over, getting away from all of this. From Tyler, from the memories, from everything. That's probably smart. Before I go, I need to tell you something. Something I should have said months ago." "What?" "You were right. About everything. I only valued you when you were successful. Only wanted you back when Tyler fell apart, and I needed security again. I used you, manipulated you, treated you like a backup plan. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I don't know. Maybe that you forgive me. Maybe that you understand why I did what I did. Maybe that we can both move forward without hating each other. I understand, and eventually I'll probably forgive you, but not today. Maybe not for a long time. Fair enough. Goodbye, David. I hope you find someone who deserves you, someone who sees you for who you really are. You too, Amanda. Good luck in Seattle." She didn't respond. I put my phone away. That was it. The final conversation, the ending without drama or tears or grand gestures. Just two people who'd been married for 8 years, saying goodbye like strangers passing on a street corner. I finished my work, left the office at 5, drove home through traffic that didn't matter anymore. My phone rang. Claire. "Hey," she said, voice tired but steady. "Hey, how are you holding up?" "Getting there. The restraining order got approved. Tyler can't come within 500 feet of me or the kids, can't contact us, can't even drive past the house." "That's good. That's really good." "The house is still a mess. Insurance is covering most of the repairs, but it's going to take weeks, maybe months. The kids are staying with my sister until things settle." "I'm sorry you're going through this." "Don't be. This needed to happen. Tyler needed to face real consequences. We both know that, even if it hurts to watch." "Yeah." "David?" "Yeah?" "Do you think we did the right thing? Looking back at everything, knowing how it ended, knowing the damage we caused, was it worth it?" I thought about that question. Thought about Tyler in custody, about Amanda packing boxes for Seattle, about Claire's destroyed house and traumatized kids, about my empty apartment and my intact career and my life that looked successful from the outside but felt hollow on the inside. "I don't know," I said honestly, "but I think it was necessary. Sometimes necessary and right aren't the same thing. Necessary isn't the same as right. Sometimes it's close enough." She was quiet for a moment. I could hear kids' voices in the background. Her sister's house, probably. Normal life continuing despite everything. "I need to go," she said finally. "Kids need dinner, need some normalcy after everything. But thank you. For everything. For helping me. For standing with me when nobody else would. For not backing down when Tyler tried to intimidate us." "You're welcome. Take care of yourself, David. You deserve to be happy. Don't let this whole mess poison that for you. You too, Claire. You and the kids." She hung up. I sat in my car in the parking garage of my building for a long time. Engine off, lights off. Just sitting in the dark thinking about endings. About how they never feel the way you expect them to. About how revenge and justice and consequences all blur together until you can't tell which is which anymore. About how winning sometimes feels exactly like losing. I went upstairs to my apartment, poured myself a drink, whiskey. Neat. Stood at the window looking out at the city. Somewhere out there, Tyler was sitting in a jail cell thinking about choices and consequences and how everything fell apart. Somewhere out there, Amanda was packing boxes and preparing for a new life in a new city where nobody knew what she'd done. Somewhere out there, Claire was feeding her kids dinner and pretending everything was normal when nothing would ever be normal again. And I was here, alone, successful, vindicated, empty. My phone buzzed one last time. Text from Amanda. One final message before she blocked my number forever. I believe in second chances. I read those words. Remembered her saying them in my apartment weeks ago. Remembered thinking she was calculating, manipulating, using me as a safety net while she figured out her next move. Maybe she was. Or maybe she was just desperate and scared and hoping I'd save her from the consequences of her choices. Either way, it didn't matter anymore. I typed my response slowly, carefully. One last message that said everything without saying anything. I don't. Sent. Deleted her contact. Blocked the number. Done. I finished my drink and went to bed. Tomorrow I'd wake up and go to work and live my life like none of this ever happened. Tomorrow I'd be successful and respected and valued. Tomorrow I'd win. But tonight I just felt tired and alone and wondering if any of it had been worth it. The answer didn't come. Maybe it never would.